Oh my God, I don't have a song.
Oh no!
I couldn't even think of anything just now.
And now I can't.
This is horrendous.
My mind is blank. My mind is like so blank
It's
right
so
now.
blank. Oh, blank. Because I got a blank space, baby. and I'll write your name. Boys only want love if it's torture.
Ay.
Don't say I didn't. Say I didn't warn
Fuck it up,
ya. Boys only
Hey. Tonight.
Tonight.
A relationship
goes down the tubes. And it's exciting. These episodes...
Oh my God, a fever dream.
honestly kind of like a whole season in itself.
Literally.
It was a lot.
It took me 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to take notes on 13.
I get that. The one I did, because I did the ReCoupling, it was like an hour, 20 minutes, the episode itself. And then I had to rewatch and take notes.
Long.
And then the other ones were, I think they were just an hour or something, but a lot was happening.
So many things. So many
But we are
things.
excited to break it down, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, I'm Brandon.
I'm Maggie.
And this is the shade of it all. Shade of it all. We get so shady, get so shady. Shade of it all. Shade of it all. Alternate theme song.
Yes. We need to record one.
We do.
That would be so fun.
That's one of my goals. We do like a professional recording of it. And it'll make us sound good, like auto-tune and everything.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It's like a good like pop good song.
Yes.
For the future, for the future.
Stay tuned.
So should we jump into these episodes? Because we got a lot to cover,
We got
y'all.
a lot to cover, y'all.
We do. We are, what is this? Episode? No. Wait.
11,
We're doing
12.
11, 12.
13,
I'm trying to just find. Oh my God, my notes. Did I call it episode 10? I think I called it episode 10, but it's 12.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Aftersun, what about that?
Why am I forgetting? No, it is. Okay, I just gave it the wrong episode. I was like, did I take notes on the wrong episode? No, I think I didn't. Okay, y'all. Yeah, so episode 11 through 14 is what we're doing. Episode 11 was just the Aftersun. I just briefly kind of rewatched it. Maggie saw a little of it. You know, it was what
It's
it was.
Aftersun.
It was. Janae and Serena were on, and that was cute. They like talked about the Beyond the Villa a little bit. We saw a sneak peek. It was just kind of them like
They were there
meeting
for
up.
a promo.
Yeah, basically. And then her Destination X show that she's on, they showed a sneak peek of that.
Have you
So
been
that was
watching?
good. No, I tried a little when I was home Sunday for dinner. It came on. My mom was really into it.
Oh.
Shockingly. She was like, this is interesting. Look at these challenges. I'm like, since when do you like shit like this? Okay.
That's funny.
But at that point, I don't think Janae came on. I think she comes on maybe the next episode, but Josh Martinez was on it.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and he's like on everything. So
He is.
but yeah, other than that, they kind of talked about just the week prior, which we already discussed in past episodes. They had Nic and Ace on, and they were fine. Like, it was just like asking questions, and they're drinking. Ariana looked amazing in orange. Belle Dasha was on it.
Belle Dasha was there, and it was like so crazy. Like her talking about her experience on Love Island.
This was like the best experience ever, and just like crazy. And they showed her a montage. She cried, which, you know what?
It was a little sad.
It was sad, which we discussed before. Her exit was sadder than anticipated.
For it being the first one, it was like, oh damn.
Right, but what I will say is, like, you know, in the moment, it was sad, and then, like, when people were like, she should come back for Kasha more, and all this, and it's like, yeah, she should, and then the next episode, I was like, so...
Yeah, no, I forgot.
And thus we move on.
We move on.
But yeah, you know, Aftersun, it was cute. They had that one guy, y'all host. He had, like, no personality. But I think next week, Sophie's supposed to be back, because Mara's filming The Traitors.
They're struggling with Aftersun. No location.
They are.
Their location got flooded. They had to get a second new host, like, right off the bat.
Right. I don't know why they don't have Ariana host. Because in the UK, Maya Jama, I think's her name. She's the host, and she hosts Aftersun.
I feel like I saw Ariana more on Aftersun. I mean, she makes an appearance, but yeah, that is weird that she doesn't just host.
Yeah, but you know, 'tis what it is.
It is what it is.
Oh my gosh, I did see, just a side note, because of Traitors, and I thought of Tom Sandoval. Madison sent me a clip. He's going to be on America's
I saw that too. And so there are two scenarios here. Simon will read him to filth and be like, bro, you suck.
He better.
Or they'll just let him through for views. Both are possible.
They better not use auto-tune. Because we know he doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to wait for the clips to come on TikTok. Right. I'm not giving AGT any screen time, but...
No.
Anyway.
Even though there's some good clips on TikTok of other people.
He looked funny sitting there with the cash just like... I'm like, what the fuck is Tom doing there?
He like says, I'm here to prove myself, dude.
No, you're here to be on a TV show since your show got canceled, Loki, because of you.
Period. And The Valley about to get canceled because that shit's bleak.
Oh, Jackson.
Watch What Happens Live.
Wow. Somebody in the comments was like, now he can't even like think that the audience likes him. Like, it's clear.
Right.
Nobody likes you, bro.
Period. They need to fire him or just, I don't know, do something with that show because it's hard to watch. And I like toxic TV, but this is like
a little too much.
Yeah. But let's get back to amazing television.
Love Island.
So now we're going to go to episode 12.
Episode 12. It feels like so long ago.
It does. It really does. It feels like
ago.
Just last year when we were watching episode 12. But it starts with the aftermath of Pepe and Hannah. Mm-hmm. And they're doing their walk of shame. I'm going to set this precedent right here, right now. I live and die by Hannah. Mm-hmm. I love her.
Yes!
She grew on me.
Really?
I'm obsessed with her.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think she's so funny. It's so messy, but like, I get it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
She's doing Love Island right. And like, we'll talk about it.
I only have one qualm with Hannah.
I can understand that. There are qualms to be had. Pepe and Hannah, they're doing their walk of shame. And then Nick, of course, points out in front of Austin, oh, you got makeup on your face, Pepe. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what the fuck, do I? And then immediately Austin walks to Chelley and Charlie. I was like, who was he? And Shelley's trying to ease Charlie and be like, hey, you know, they're probably fine. They were probably talking all chill. Like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, they're probably doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And then Austin's like, well, actually.
He has makeup on his face.
Yeah. She was giggling and he had makeup all over his face. So I don't know about that. And Charlie's like, oh, fuck, mate. And then apparently we learned the speakeasy is where her and Charlie made out first. Mm-hmm. So that's a little, you know, go off. Charlie walks up and pulls Hannah for a chat, though. And then we see Olandria say, you know, she really didn't do anything wrong. No. Like, it's just week 2. Yeah. And then Nick's like, but what if I made out with Iris? And she's like, well, it's week 2.
Yeah.
Also, are you thinking about making out with Iris? You just told on yourself, Nick.
Right.
And then we get Charlie and Hannah chatting, and he asks how the chat with Pepe was, and she says good and wants to tell him everything. So she comes forward saying that they kissed, and he says, you know, no judgment. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
It's not okay at all. It's not okay.
He says it is. He does say, he better not be a better kisser than me. And I'm like, whoa.
And she just kind of giggled. She didn't confirm or deny. She's like, I love him.
He says his aura has been stripped and doesn't know how he can be intimate with her after knowing this.
Stark contrast from what he just said, which is
right.
My aura has been stripped.
Ultimate aura has been stripped, and I can't even imagine or think of even getting slightly intimate with her.
Charlie, just be honest then, mate.
Right, tell her it bothered you.
Come on, dude.
She says she'd be lying if she wasn't a little intrigued in Pepe. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, we saw that. Chelley and Austin talk, and she asks how he's doing. I'm so glad this is going to come to an end.
It's like 50 first dates, like at the beginning of every chat with Chelley and Austin. We recap the previous chat as if it didn't happen.
Right.
And we're just talking about the same thing.
Yes.
Over and over. I feel away because I'm in this love triangle. I understand, but, you know, keep trying. I will, Chelley. Talking to you makes me feel so great inside.
Yeah. And it's like what? Nothing changes. Nothing. It's all just the same. Mm-hmm. And he's just uncomfortable with the whole I was gonna say threesome. What is it called? Triangle. I'm like, I knew it was something. He's like, she says, Ace is putting in a lot of effort, but her and Austin do have great connection, and she wants more spontaneous things. Because this is the thing about Austin. He'll complain and not like things, but then he does nothing.
Yes, that's true. He doesn't do anything about it. He's like, man, Ace is doing another activity for Chelley. Damn.
All right. And he's just watching in the background, just like,
I guess I'll go work out and talk to Nic about it later.
Right. And it's just like, people can get on Chelley, like, she's clearly not interested in Austin, but it's like, he's not doing anything for her to be interested in him.
That's true.
Like, but complaining.
But I do wish, I don't know if Chelley is as divided as she says she is.
I don't think so either.
Because she's literally been saying this from jump.
Yeah.
I like both of them. Maybe you know what, Chelley, I don't think you'd lie to us. But
if you did,
you could tell us.
That's fine. We get it.
It's all right.
But she did say Austin was giving defeated energy, and she doesn't want to walk him through this, and she just likes that Ace is confident no matter what, which is true.
Yeah.
Even though Ace probably, I feel like, the confidence might be a slight facade.
Yeah, because he definitely picked Amaya to bother you. Like, he hasn't confessed, but I'm pretty sure that's why.
Yeah, I've seen somebody think that he's so mad at Huda because
she rejected him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I kind of, because he did kiss her in that blind.
He kissed her.
Thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, because I was thinking about that too. Like, why is he so bothered by them? And I think it's probably maybe because of that.
I wanted to explore my connection with Huda, and she just rejected me.
Yeah.
So the Chelley and Austin, their conversation ends, and she hugs him, and he's like, I still like her.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Well, anyways. Then we get Huda and Jeremiah. He asked if the miscommunication about the pancakes was her pushing him away.
This is so stupid.
It was so stupid.
Oh my gosh. It's the miscommunication about the pancakes. Can we listen to ourselves talk?
Oh God! Think of the words that just came out of your mouth and how you just formed a sentence with those words.
So like the
in a serious conversation. The miscommunication. Of the
ever start a sentence? Let's go back to the miscommunication about the pancakes.
It's gonna be my memoir title: The Miscommunication About the Pancakes. They weren't cooked.
Another man made them for me.
She says he's missing the point and was expecting him to wake up and change things. He says he feels like he's being tested and the pancake shouldn't cause this much drama. She asks about Iris because he was happy dancing after they talked. And he says he told her they had a rough morning, but that's her girl. And then this part... it proceeds to confuse me because when she first says, what did you say? I thought she was going to be like, oh, you claim me as your girl. Like, I'm excited. Instead, she's like, don't you ever fucking tell no bitch anything about we're having a fucking issue, let alone a bitch I don't fucking know. Are you fucking crazy? I'm like, oh, we took it there.
What the hell?
That was, but then... And then they go back and forth between kind of flirting and being serious.
Yeah.
Because the tone just keeps changing. Because he's like, you're scary. And she's like, okay, then walk. And he's like, oh, I'm kidding. And she's like, okay. I'm like...
this shit is a fever dream.
What's
happening right now? Because I was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a joke.
No.
Yeah, it's a little red flag-ish,
Yeah, and because she said something like, want me to get rid of that hickey so you can talk to other people?
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, they're fucking weird.
They are. This is more of her parenting him, too. Like, don't you talk to people like how he should talk to people, how she polices a lot of his behavior.
She does.
Yeah.
And she just says, I can be a bitch and I can say some mean shit. And he's just like,
we know.
I'm not going to say anything. And then they kiss and make up. Chelley and Ace talk. He says he wants to explore with her still, but is finding interest in Iris. She says she doesn't like what he just said, but does want to know these things. And she tells us she needs to take a step back because he's always trying to explore a new connection. She's annoyed. And it's like...
I get why she's annoyed. but also
it is the point.
That's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
He told you about it.
Right. And it's just another thing where it's just so obvious they have a deeper connection than like Austin and her. Because it's just the energy in which they talk. Like when she talks to Austin, it's almost like a teacher. Like kind of trying to be like, it's okay. And it's fine. I'll be honest with you. But with Ace, it's like, oh, hi.
Yeah, hey. Like, yeah, it's very like flirtatious and chill. But with Austin, it does feel a little weird. I wonder now if Chelley is doing it because she feels bad.
Probably a little bit. Like, I think. Like, I don't want to reject him completely.
Yeah, and there's nobody else here for him, it seems.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. That makes more sense than her just being like, I'm not sure. Like, girl.
I don't understand.
I know you're sure.
Right. Everyone's getting ready for bed. Olandria says Taylor isn't happy about her and Jalen. Well, step it up, Taylor. Which they say he does these episodes. I didn't see much of a step up.
I didn't either.
But we'll get to that. Pepe tells Ace Hannah's real good. Hannah says the connections are vastly different between Charlie and Pepe. Charlie's distraught. Chelley tells Olandria about her convo with Ace. Charlie talks to Iris about birds while in bed with Hannah. And Hannah's like, this is so fucking petty. And I'm like, I get if they were flirting, but they're literally talking about birds. Like, I don't know. I didn't get a flirtatious vibe.
Come on.
Like, let's take a step back.
I was surprised at her for saying that.
Yeah. And then Jeremiah and Huda fuck.
Yes. And I was like, that's a choice.
It is a choice. I just think about how awkward it is. Like, do what you want, but like everyone's in there.
Yeah.
And the beds are close.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Y'all are bold.
Right. Because I don't remember, because we have only seen a couple seasons, so I don't remember anyone else except for Rob and that Cassie girl
having sex. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Maybe y'all let us know. I don't know if this is common.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, that's a step.
It is.
I mean, they have been progressively though getting more physical, more intimate every night. We've kind of seen like bits and pieces, but
and then the next day, Ace makes Iris breakfast and Olandria clocks it. She kind of looks, she's like, Huda tells the girls, she's like, I can't even tell y'all what we did last night. And immediately they're like, y'all had sex. We were like right there. We were basically in the bed with you.
We heard you. We saw Jeremiah get up and get a condom.
I cannot. Ace tells Pepe Iris isn't usually his type, so it's a shock. Charlie says talking to Iris was kind of a move and he's going to pull for chats today. So then we will proceed to see that with Charlie. And it's embarrassing every time.
Yes.
But he pulls Iris first for a chat. And Hannah's spiraling and Chelley and Olandria try to talk her down. Iris says she looks for a strong personality because she sometimes has masculine energy. Charlie says she has a funky sense of humor. And she says it's because of watching cartoons growing up.
Yeah, and he was like, what cartoons?
There's some weird cartoons out there.
And he's like, Billy and Mandy? Was it Billy and Mandy? It was a Billy and Mandy?
I'm like, what are we saying?
Charlie! Oh, he's like, something in common I can relate to her.
We can talk something. A point of reference. I cannot with him.
I think it ended up being Billy and Mandy. He mentioned a couple others. I was like, oh my gosh, Charlie, relax.
Did he mention Powerpuff Girls, I think?
Something. I forgot about Billy and Mandy.
I never watched. I wasn't the biggest cartoon person. I liked some. But Hannah and Taylor are talking, and she says she's about to crash the fuck out because he pulled Iris for a chat, whereas Pepe pulled her for a chat.
Not fair.
Not fair at all.
Not fair, Charlie.
And I'm like, okay, Hannah, now I'm just like, come on now.
So this is where I was a little confused by Hannah. Because you were in the speakeasy having a time. You were also in Soul Ties having a time. And now you're upset. So I'm like, maybe they were just fooling around and it was fun. But yeah. I thought that she really liked Pepe.
I did too.
And maybe not that she wasn't like high on Charlie anymore, but just like, I thought that maybe you weren't so high on him anymore.
Yeah, but it seems as though.
Yes.
Hannah has a lot of feelings.
Yes.
She feels like she was honest for nothing and thinks he's doing it just to make her feel bad. I don't know if he's doing it to make you feel bad, but I do think he's doing it because you are exploring things with Pepe.
Yeah, he's like, oh, am I about to be single? Let me talk to some people today.
Let me secure my place in the villa.
Yeah.
Tune in to the end of our recap of this episode to see if that works. She says she doesn't even want to talk to him today. Mm-hmm. Taylor and Olandria speak. He asks about Jalen, and she says she likes him, and he always says she's beautiful. She says they approach her differently, and says Taylor tried to build a more mental connection. And then he tells us the bombshells made him realize he doesn't want to lose Olandria. Interesting.
Likely story.
Once again, he says it, but I feel nothing.
The bombshells made me realize that I could go home.
So, I need to secure my place in this villa. Tune in to the end of our recap of this episode to see if that works. Hannah and Charlie chat. And she says she feels like she's handled last night really well and was honest and didn't want to chat with someone in front of him. She says she's fine with him chatting, but doesn't want to be in an ego war. And it's like, okay. I get saying, like, I don't want us just to chat with people to try to make each other feel bad.
Yeah.
But also that is, like... I mean, let the man talk to someone. You just made out with Pepe. Like, you know, you could talk to someone, damn.
Right.
But then he says there was no flirtation and can't believe she's coming for him after she made out with Pepe. And he's like, do you still care? And she's like, and I'm like, oh, these two kids.
You crazy kids.
And she's just like, look, if you explore, just don't do it in bed next to me. And I'm like, okay, fair.
All right, sure.
Whatever. You took the bird, Hannah. You took the bird conversation as flirting.
Yeah.
All right. But they kiss and make up. And then Nick gets a text. Got wood? It's a challenge. And they're like, what is this going to be about? And then they're like, Sear says something like, is it going to be morning wood, all this? Mm-hmm. And then Nick says, is it going to be like comparing penis measurements? And it's just the way that phrasing of it. Something about it, I was like, what a way to say that.
Oh, Nick, please stop.
Don't say this. So we get to the challenge, got wood, and Paige DeSorbo makes an appearance.
Like, hey, Paige. Did you hear her talking about her outfit?
Yes, it was so funny because, okay, so Paige, she wore an outfit she's worn before, which I clocked immediately. She wore it to a Summer House after show last season.
After show, like Watch What Happens Live, or the bonus episode?
Like, the one they like stopped randomly doing this season. Yes. They had one for last season, which they had more episodes on. Oh, and she was wearing that outfit.
Oh, we've seen the dress.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's repeating her outfit. What the fuck? So she was on Giggly Squad, and she said, so I had 4 Love Island dresses picked out, and they called me an hour before I had to get to the airport, and they were like, do you have anything lumberjack themed for like the challenge? Oh. And she was like, I think. And so they showed that dress because it was kind of like a dark suede, and they're like, perfect, that goes with the challenge. And she thought she was gonna be able to like wear that, I guess, for the challenge, and then there was something else in the house, and they're like, no, there isn't. And she's like, but I have 4 other dresses I want to wear. Yeah. She is going to be on Aftersun, so I think she's going to wear one of them. But okay. It was just funny because she's like, I knew everyone would fucking say, Lizzie McGuire, you're an outfit repeater. And then it's all I fucking had. And then apparently...
And she didn't like how it looked.
No, she was just like, and it was like hot because it was suede.
I was like, why is she... I don't know. I didn't think it fit the theme.
It didn't. Like, I was like, they probably should have just let her wear any of her other dresses. Because I'm sure it would have been fine. It's like Love Island. Who cares what they're wearing?
Right.
Like, what do you want her to like dress up as if she's in like the Big Brother like camp season? Yeah. And all that. But, and then she said, because in the middle of this challenge, she's going to randomly disappear. Apparently she like almost passed out and like threw up. Because she like, I think it was a mix of jet lag and the heat and probably wearing the outfit she wore. Because it wasn't only suede. It was like a turtleneck.
Yeah. It, like her stomach was out, but everything else was completely covered. I did notice she disappeared, and I was like, is the game just too long for Paige? Because it was a very long game.
It was
Of
a
Love
little
Island
too
games, this is my least favorite game. I was like, what the hell is going on
There's
here?
just too many steps.
Too many steps. The tree climbing, I was like, that's cool, but the tree was short, so they barely climbed it. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Then the like get on the chopping the log thing.
Yeah.
Nobody could really do it right.
No.
So it just looks stupid.
It looked dumb, and then they didn't even show the wet log one every time.
I think someone got hurt and they had to stop
Yeah, I
because
heard
Hannah had a
yeah.
Hannah had a band-aid afterwards. I was like, y'all trying to kill Hannah? Oh my god.
Leave Hannah alone.
Like, no, but it looked. Two people cannot walk on that thing. Like, are we
No.
serious? It's not even squishy. It's a perfect
Right.
cylinder.
They
Like,
couldn't like even stay on for a second.
I saw Ace like fall on it. I was like, this looks so dangerous. And then they were falling on the ground, and it didn't look very cushioned.
No, they did not take care of them there,
This
y'all.
is not. Nope. Nobody thought this challenge through. Just a mess.
No, it was funny though. There was like she said she was wearing like clear shoes, but there was a metal part at like the toe, and she was like, it was cooking because I felt this heat, and I was like, what the fuck is on my foot? And I guess the metal was getting like hot, and she had to
my
like cover it with her skirt, and she was like, I'm about to pass out. The Islanders are getting all wet and everything, and they're asking me, but ask him if he's hard, and she's like, I'm gonna die. That was a funny breakdown. I recommend
That's
listening to
hilarious.
Paige's breakdown on the podcast. It
Paige.
was so funny.
You did great though, girl.
She did. She had some funny one-liners. There were some annoying people online. And look, I love Paige down, but they were like, does this mean Paige is going to host next season? Because Ariana hosted a challenge before her season. No.
Oh. I mean, I did think the collab was kind of random,
It was random.
but I don't know if it means something.
I don't eat
Why are we
like...
reading into shit so much?
Right. Ariana is a perfect host, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't. And I love Paige down, but no.
No.
But anyways, so we get to the challenge.
I think it's a reach to just think about it, but yes, the challenge.
As we know, the conspiracy theories around Love Island and everything, they go crazy. Because someone also commented, Ariana's not going to be the host next season. And it was like AI saying, Ariana's the host this season, but not next season. Or something like random. And Ariana commented, y'all believe anything.
Stop.
And it's like, for real. It was like an
Stop.
AI overview of like an article talking about, I think, when she was hired. So it was like...
Oh.
I think that's what one comment said. I didn't click because I don't care, and I am spreading a little. I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm spreading debunking misinformation.
Right. We're not doing that here.
But yeah, so we get to the challenge, and like we just said, the guy climbs a tree, and then they pick someone based off the answer, and then they have to like they do it by doing like what was it that they used?
Oh, it was like a leaf blower.
Yeah.
Or a wood chipper.
A wood chopper. Yes. And then it like does like colorful dust or something. And then they pick the girl for that guy to get on the log and chop it. And then that guy will pick who they want to get on the wet log. Then they'll pick a beaver with someone's name of a girl who hasn't been selected. And they have to make out with them in the cabin.
So much.
Too much. Austin's first. His question, which boy needs to be axed from the villa? He picks Jeremiah, which, given the events that occur, is a little shocking now in hindsight.
No, Austin reminds me of Meta Worldwide playing Big Brother, and he's like, "I voted to evict so and so," and they're like, "No, you voted to keep them. Like, do you know what your votes mean?"
Oh, shit.
And Meta's just like,
LOL.
like, do you know what you're doing?
Sometimes I wonder about Austin. But Jeremiah picks Amaya to join Austin at the axe station. Austin picks Chelley to ride the wet log. The beaver he picks is Olandria, and they make out in the cabin. And yeah, that's that. Taylor's next. Which boy seems bored in his couple? And he chooses Ace. Ace picks Huda for the log. Paige goes, remember, it's all in the quads. That was funny. And then the beaver he picks is Sierra, and they joke and make noises and like shake the cabin. Nic is up. Which boy is actually pining for someone else? He chooses Ace. Ace picks Iris for the log. The beaver he picks is Olandria, and this is where I'm like, they need to get together. Olandria and Nic.
Yeah.
They had passion.
Oh, they were
in that
excited in the cabin.
And online, y'all are with me. There's a lot of people that are shipping them.
Yeah.
And he always says, he's like, she's hot and it's good to make out with her.
Okay, I loved all of this except for Nick's cold sore. I was like, where the hell did that erupt? Unless it wasn't one. Because nobody else had one. So I was like, how do you just get a cold sore?
I don't know. It was something.
Aren't those contagious?
I think so.
I was like, please don't kiss Olandria.
I know. And then Olandria had to kiss everyone else.
I was like, this is disgusting.
Cold sore aside, though, when he came out picking her up like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a romance novel. Jeremiah's up. Which boy has no splinter of hope in his couple? He picks Ace again. Ace picks Sierra for the log. The beaver he picks is Olandria. And this, he goes in for a full makeout with Olandria to the point where she was shocked. She was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And then they make out and it's like, oh, fuck. And then the door opens and Huda's like, they're actually making out. I'm not upset at all or going to ask you about this at all or going to spiral about this at all.
Oh my God, the in there.
Yes, it's the challenge.
And I think Jeremiah says, like, I want to, like, the guys were ragging on me. I want to show them that I can, like, have fun and participate in the challenge.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've been playing games from the beginning, but also... We'll get to it. They're just, I can't with them. Ace goes, which boy needs to be cut down to size? He says Pepe. Pepe chooses Iris or no, they skipped that axe part actually. Then for the wet log, he chooses Iris. The beaver he picks is Olandria. They make out. Olandria stays getting picked. Jalen, which boy needs to branch out from his couple? He picks Jeremiah, and Huda is pissed because she can never have fun in a challenge. She's like, stay in your lane. Like, why are you guys always coming for us? Jeremiah picks Huda for the chopping, which was kind of random as well. And then the beaver he picks is Amaya. Pepe, which boy has no chemistry with his partner? He picks Austin. He then picks Hannah for the wet log, and Hannah is happy she has an excuse to do this. And then the beaver he picks is Iris. And then last but not least, Charlie. Which boy is his stiffest competition? He picks Pepe, and he picks Hannah for the wet log, and he goes all in on Hannah. They don't even like stay on the log. He says he thanks Pepe for keeping her warm for him. And then the beaver he picks is Sierra. So yeah, a kind of messy, long challenge.
Yeah. Nothing really came of it except for Huda being pissed off.
Which that could have came from any challenge.
Yeah.
So,
that could have came from any challenge, any conversation, any day.
Right. The guys and girls debrief about how fun it was and how Olandria got picked so much. Nick says he didn't expect Jeremiah to go so hard with Olandria. He says he didn't expect because he wanted, what the fuck did I just write? He says he wanted to... I said a sentence. This is the sentence I wrote. He says he didn't expect because he wanted to show himself. What the fuck does that mean? Am I stupid? I think I'm trying to say he wanted to be himself and show, but I can't. This is what happens when you take notes too quickly. Huda was surprised too, but says she doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, Huda. So do you remember the last time Jeremiah didn't kiss someone and Huda was like, I don't care?
I think it was Olandria.
I think it was Olandria.
It was someone.
It was a challenge.
It was
something?
like the pucker and pie one.
Yes. Yes. And then it's like, now it did happen and you do care. So stop lying.
But for real.
You're a bad liar.
She's like a horrible liar.
You have no poker face. Oh my gosh.
Because it's just like, she can't even stick to the lie is the
No.
thing. Like, if you're going to lie and say you're not, like, upset or anything, then just stay with that. But she doesn't last 2 seconds before she's telling on herself. Nick asks if Jeremiah thinks it's weird how Huda acts and gets defensive and overprotective. Jeremiah says he can't control her and it should be fine in the outside world. He says they have trust. And I'm like, do y'all? Because y'all are in the villa. It's been less than 2 weeks and she's asking for your location as if it's not right fucking next to her.
So like when we leave, like, can you like shoot? Like, what, girl? I don't know. Yeah. But Jeremiah is cool with it. I don't know why he's cool with it.
He likes the toxic to an extent.
And he plays a part.
Hannah says she was expecting it from Pepe, but Charlie gave her Charlie gave her the motion of the ocean. Olandria and Jalen speak, and she says, you know, he did great for his first challenge, and he said he loved climbing the tree. He asked about Taylor, and
that was weird. I was like, why?
I know, right? He asked about Taylor, and she says they're doing good. It's the same. He says, may the best man win, and he tells us he's glad she's still open. And then he does the corny thing where it's like, you know, I didn't get a kiss in the challenge. You think I could get one right now? And she's like, yes. And then he gives her a peck.
And she did not want to kiss him.
No.
I was like, why'd you say yes then?
She was probably like, oh, I guess.
He's like, all right, let's go afterwards. And I was like, I would be thinking about this for the next couple hours.
I know, right?
But Jalen's really chill, so he just kind of moves on.
Yeah. Hannah and Pepe talk. He asks where her head is at, and she says she's just figuring it out. Says she's been with Charlie since day one and hasn't explored. They end up making out again. She says whatever happens, and she's just here to explore. So she's just open and having herself a grand old time. Charlie and Amaya chat. And he says, I know. He says he told himself he would chat with people today and said him and Amaya had a great chat in the beginning. And she's like, look, you're great and all, but Hannah's like the closest person to me. So like, I'm not about to do this. And Amaya thinks he's being impulsive because of Pepe, and she's close with Hannah and would never betray her. And he's like, oh, I have every right to explore my connections, and like it's fine. Like we had like a connection at one point, and like I know it's a risky move, but whatever. And then she cries.
Are you crying because he's talking to you? Are you crying because you said you don't have a connection? Are you crying because it could possibly be a connection? I was like, I get you being sad. I just want to know why.
Everything. All of the above. She tells us...
He's like, don't cry. No, don't cry. Don't cry.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And she just tells us, she's like, Charlie's a great guy. And she could have been open if Hannah wasn't her close friend. And she's not going to change her moral compass. She believes the right bond will find her. And if it's not here, then it's not here.
Which made me think that she was crying because, like, she doesn't have a connection right now.
Yeah, and then, like, Charlie's just doing this just out of spite. And she's like, oh, God.
She's like, the only romantic chat I can get is a forced one. Maybe that was, like...
from my best friend's couple.
Right.
Ugh. It's nighttime, and Charlie's saying that he took an L with Amaya. Amaya tells Hannah about what happened. Pepe says Hannah's her front runner, or his front runner. Ace likes Iris because she speaks her mind, which is funny because I feel like we haven't really seen Iris.
I was like, speaking about what?
I know, which I end up liking Iris by the end of this saga of episodes. Not that I disliked her, but like I really appreciate her.
Yeah.
But we don't see her talk that much.
I saw them like just talk about life and stuff. Maybe she said something.
Yeah. But she does tell the girls that her and Ace have good chats. Taylor and Olandria talk. He pulls her for a chat. He asks how it's feeling swapping saliva with everyone and asks about the conversation with Jalen. She tells him he has to kiss her, and she said yes, and Taylor high-fives her. And this is where I'm like, I feel like he's pretending to act more bothered, but then also pretending to act cool about it. So I'm just confused by everything.
Yeah.
Like he's just pretending to do both, like a combination. And I'm like, what is happening?
I feel that because... yeah, he seems just bored all around. But yeah, it was hard to get a read. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. He says they're in a better place than ever and it should be smooth sailing. Amaya and Hannah. Amaya's confused by Charlie. Hannah says if she was interested, it wouldn't change anything between them. Hannah's open. She's like, do whatever. It's fine.
I wonder if that's true, though.
That part I don't know. It's easy to say.
It's easy to say. It's not easy to do. It's easy to say, especially after your friend's like, I wouldn't do that. She's like, it's okay every day.
It would totally be fine.
It'd be so fine.
Amaya would be fine.
Yeah.
Hannah does say she's come to a realization that Pepe is surface level, and she just felt comfortable with Charlie since the beginning.
Yeah.
And that Pepe isn't meaningful, and Charlie has the romantic spark, and she feels like she fucked up. And Amaya's like, you just need to talk to him. So, Iris and Ace chat. They talk about enjoying the challenge. They enjoyed their kiss. He asks if he's her usual type. She says usually she likes nerds. And then they talk about how he's a secret nerd. Whatever. Okay.
Like, whatever, Ace.
He just says anything.
Oh, I'm actually a nerd.
Just so you know.
Since you like them, I kind of am one.
She tells us she never gets bored with him, and he always looks at her and asks questions. He asks if she believes in love at first sight, and she says she believes in fate. And I was like, are you asking because did you fall in love at first sight with her?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
We don't really get.
Or are you trying to shade Jeremiah and Huda again? Because he was shading them last time. He's like, do you move quick? She's like, no, I move slow. He's like, yeah, because moving quick is stupid. Do you believe in love at first sight? No, yeah, because love at first sight doesn't exist. It's
not real. Totally. Hannah and Charlie chat. She asks if she can start. She apologizes for acting rashly and that her and Pepe have like a weird romantic chemistry. But then she tells him she knows about the Amaya chat. And he says he knows he fucked up and he felt like he was losing Hannah. And she says he feels like a best friend and a romantic connection. And she doesn't think it's possible for anything to be better. And then they kiss. And it's sweet.
It was so sweet. And I was like, fuck, Hannah, why didn't you just say this to me yesterday?
I know. The thing with Hannah, it's like she did nothing wrong for the experience. But the timing couldn't have been worse.
Couldn't have been worse because she was all on Pepe before we voted.
And now this episode, it's like, oh, well, we wouldn't have done that had we seen. But she thinks this needed to happen for her to realize what she had with Charlie. And then Huda and Jeremiah, they start to talk. She asks about the challenge, and he says he's getting out of a shell. And she says she didn't know he would actually kiss Olandria. And then she said he didn't have to. Like, Taylor and Sierra went in and it didn't do anything. And then she's just like, you know, it's fine. Like, whatever. I don't care. You just, like, didn't have to. But, like, I don't care. But she's like, but I did need to get my lick back. And it's like, so you care.
You care.
And then Ariana arrives in one of my favorite looks she's ever put on. I have to put that on the record. I loved it. She looked like a video game character. I don't know. It just looked amazing. The
Which
high
one was
pony. It was like a maroon wine colored top with the shoulder pads. The skirt that opened here with the black leather. Her body is insane.
Why don't I remember this outfit?
It was so good. I posted a TikTok if you want to see.
Okay, I'm gonna go take a peek.
She was just like slinking through, just like face card never declines. It was amazing. But she gathers them at the fire pit and she says tonight there will be a recoupling, but this one is different than ever before because America has been voting on who the bombshell should couple up with. And then Huda says, God bless America. Just wait, Huda.
Famous last words.
So then, the recoupling begins.
The recoupling.
There's going to be 3 new couples, and then 3 people will be single and vulnerable. We have Jalen first. He was voted to couple up with Olandria, which we all saw coming, even though they look shocked.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't see it. I don't know. But he sits next to her, and Olandria does look happy, I thought. And then Taylor has to, like, get up and stand up in the front.
He has to, like, make space, and then, it's awkward.
But Jalen's happy, and he's feeling good. Olandria says she's still processing, but is excited. And then Taylor says it's hurt, and it's hard to, like, get your girl taken away this way, like, by America. And it's like, that should be telling, but no one looked into really why.
Nobody thought about it.
Ace kinda, but kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Pepe's next. He was voted to couple up with Hannah. And this is where it kind of reminded me of, and I think I was thinking about the time, and I think the time is the same. I think this is around the time when Andrea went home. And remember the whole, like, at that time, they kept Nicole because of the triangle between Nicole, Kendall, and Miguel. And so it kind of felt like that with, like, Hannah, Pepe, and Charlie. But there's a different outcome, which we will get to.
Yes.
But Hannah's surprised, Pepe's happy, and Charlie tells everyone how he had just an amazing convo with Hannah.
Yeah.
Then this is the start of his campaign, and he doesn't even know it yet. He's like, just so everyone knows, we had an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
It was the best.
The best chat today.
Iris is last, and she was voted to couple up with Jeremiah. What the fuck?
Gasps all around.
What the fuck?
And everybody's just like...
Rob pops up. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Rolling his eyes.
What the fuck?
No, you're sending diva.
No, Rob, no. Charlie becomes Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
Olandria calls us messy.
Sorry.
Ace busts out laughing, which that was funny.
When Ace started laughing, I was like, bro.
No couth, but that's fine.
Yes.
Huda says she feels like she just got slapped. Iris is surprised. Jeremiah has no words, but immediately says how he's going to miss going to bed and waking up next to Huda. Huda says she had the best connection in here, and Ace just looks like,
bitch, no you didn't.
and then Ariana asks, well, why do you think they voted for this, Huda? And she's like, probably because Iris said she was interested in him. And it's like, if only it were that simple.
Listen, Huda's inability to self-reflect ever.
No, because you would think
it's exhausting.
By the end of this episode, there would be, like, she would.
Right.
But
all three of them, actually. All of the episodes we're going over today. You think that she would do some reflecting.
It takes such a left. Ariana then reveals that the Islanders not affected by the vote will have to vote someone out of the villa.
No!
We don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that, though.
No! We don't want to do that, though. No! Ariana, no!
We don't want to do...
Shut up!
That Amaya crying made it all feel so much worse.
It was like...
It was already bad.
You would have thought, like...
Someone...
They had to, like, kill them. Like, we have to sacrifice someone to die and be murdered for the well-being of the villa.
No, for real. Maya thought this was the Hunger Games.
I'm like, wait. Amaya, stop.
You guys have to go to the arena?
Are you kidding me? District Love Island, USA? No, don't send Charlie.
People were like making videos like what Amaya thought or Ariana said. It was like as if she was told that she has to be in a couple with Ace for the rest of her life.
No.
We don't want to do that though. Oh my gosh. But then like Olandria's weeping. Chelley's weeping. Austin's head is down. Like everybody is distraught. And Hannah didn't really cry, but like looked like upset.
She's like shook. She's like, oh fuck, what is about to happen?
Yeah.
This was, yeah. And I'm just like, y'all know what show you're on. This vote happens. Like, there's going to be a vote of some sort every season.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right, actually. You're right. I didn't even think about
like,
that.
Like, there's always a vote at some point. So, like, what are we doing?
And Olandria's crying on Jeremiah's shoulder. Like, it was just I was like, oh my god. And then I immediately felt like an asshole for pairing Jeremiah and Iris. I was like, fuck.
I know everyone online is just like, we did this. How sick are we?
It is art. And then people in the comments like, I didn't vote for all of these three people that are together, and I was like, fuck, I didn't think about it like that. I just thought it would be like funny. And then I didn't know that it would be really our choice. Because half the time they let America vote, it's not permanent. But like we actually impacted something.
We did. I thought too there wasn't going to be like, I thought there would be like a recoupling or something. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, regardless, it's part of the show. We shouldn't be made to feel bad. They gave us the vote. We voted. It is what it is.
No. I don't think they made us feel, I think Amaya made us feel like shit. I mean, like, I don't know. I think I just felt bad after the fact as if I didn't realize it. Like, I guess I really didn't think it was going to happen.
I knew something like would blow up like that. I guess you're right. It was just really like Amaya and everyone else's reaction
like
that
them
took it.
crying and stuff. I was like, dang, my bad, y'all.
Sorry, y'all.
And then Huda and the aftermath of everything, I'm just like, this is my fault.
I am the cause.
I did this.
Well, even so,
No, it was like 57% wanted Jeremiah and Huda to get together.
Oh, to get together?
In the vote. I mean, Jeremiah and Iris.
Oh, Iris. Yeah. Yeah, most people did. Look, we all did, y'all. Like, come on.
We did it.
And the only people, even the people who didn't vote, they still wanted to. They just didn't want blood on their hands. But then Amaya won't shut up. And then Charlie's trying to, like, plead his case, which at first I thought he was sacrificing himself. And I think maybe they thought that too, because even Chelley was like, "No, Charlie, no." But he was campaigning. He was like, "Y'all just want you to take into consideration that me and Hannah, we had a good chat, and like I got to know her on a different level." No, Charlie, no.
And I was like, by the end of this, I'm like, Charlie ain't hear a damn thing you said.
No, you're gonna have to reiterate.
It's like,
that
hey, we just had like the best conversation today. I was like, this is insane. Because who's up? It's Taylor, Huda, or Charlie, right?
Yes.
To go.
Which I'll start by saying, I think Taylor should have. Well, I guess by the end of this, I don't know. But in the moment, I felt as though Taylor should have been the one to go.
Yeah.
Because I still don't think he's that into Olandria, but we'll talk.
Right.
I will say I did like make a side note, because if I'm gonna sing Ariana praises, like I'm gonna sing the whole damn song. Like I really feel like she's in her hosting bag and looks and sounds more confident than ever. Like she just seems so like centered and like more comfortable. And I rewatched the premiere a little bit last night, and like she was good, but it was like her first time and you could like feel her nerves. And now she's just evolved to a great host.
No, after a year of being on stage and doing her thing, she's really honed like
the craft.
Like she's literally so good at everything.
Yes. So we get to the vote.
Ariana, do you do weddings?
Ariana, please. Are you trying to tell me something?
No.
Reveal on the pod. Maggie's engaged.
No, like whenever you go, like when you see like people doing things on TikTok or something, and it's like something funny or something unique, people are in the comments like, "Do you do weddings?"
Oh yes. But Ariana, if you do want to come on the podcast,
oh my gosh,
your hairstylist did comment on our TikTok. We posted of you with the dark hair, so. We're kind of best friends, and you should come on.
And every single time you pop up on the TV screen, you end up on our TikTok. Just saying.
Period. We do a montage and a song to it because we love you.
Yes.
So we get to the vote. Sierra's up first. And she says she's voting this way based off the strength of the original couples throughout the past couple days. So she votes Charlie. And I thought that was a little shocking.
Yeah.
Especially because she just found out they made up, like him and Hannah. And I mean... do they think Taylor and Olandria are strong? I don't know. I
think they really thought Hannah was feeling Pepe.
Yeah.
As did we.
We were all under the impression.
Yes.
Nic is next. He thinks they're all here to explore new connections, but from the beginning, one person had tunnel vision. Huda. So I guess he's not the uncle anymore.
No.
Well, we think
after knowing she has a baby, you did that. Damn.
I know, right? Austin's next, and he ends up choosing Taylor, but he doesn't really say why, and he seems to regret it right after.
I was just like, oh, Taylor. That's like, fuck. I don't think he knows what's happening half the time.
Probably not.
He's like, Ariana was telling the instructions, but I can't remember what they are. Taylor.
I guess Taylor, right? Best friend is who we're voting for. Chelley's next. She said after thinking about their connections and obstacles, she chooses Charlie. Ace is next, and he gives a whole speech. He says he liked getting to know them all, but he says he saw two people put their heart out with multiple people, and one person didn't. He has seen one person seem so sure someone is their match, and is so locked in and closed off, and it's bullshit. And he thinks people have hidden agendas. Huda. And she's just like,
okay, damn.
Well, fuck.
All right, then fuck, damn.
Right? Like, doing all of that.
And this is where I start getting annoyed with Ace.
A little. I was like, I mean, I appreciated the drama of it, but I also kind of felt bad for Huda. How like Nic and Ace are like coming for her and voting her out.
Literally, and Ace just acts like his way is the right way all the time. Mm-hmm. And his like attitude and arrogance is very annoying. Like, no, I know what's right. Do what I say. And it's like, there's 10 other people here, but whatever.
All right, Ace. Taylor has 1 vote, but Charlie and Huda have 2. So Amaya will be the deciding factor. Mm-hmm. If I was Amaya, I would have voted Taylor and have us do like a revote.
Yeah.
But she's.
I didn't even think about that.
I wonder how it would be though if they would do like a revote or like.
They're like, Amaya, random. If you pick the same, if you make it even, then everybody goes home. So she's going.
New season.
We don't want to do that though.
No. So she's up. And she says she's dumping the Islander solely based off everything that happened recently. So she votes Charlie.
Hannah? Hannah? That's Hannah. The way that Hannah is inconsolable, I'm like, girl, I didn't know you like him like that.
No, it was like bad. And then Amaya's like, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, well, why did you vote your best friend's man
also,
out?
Hannah, why weren't you crying like that a minute ago? It could have changed everything.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know, man.
I
was like, Hannah, this is low-key because you were so like on him like all night.
Yeah.
And during the day too. Like,
it's hard.
And then I also think Amaya was, voting.
Yeah. But I knew she wasn't going to vote Huda out. Because I don't think the girls were trying to vote any of the girls out.
Right.
I think with Hannah, it's just like, yeah, she was like with Pepe, but then she decided, no, Charlie. And it is like, that is the point. But then there's like the point of the experience. Hannah didn't do anything wrong, but now there's this vote. So it's kind of like messy and it was just terrible timing.
Yeah.
And maybe she wasn't sure if Charlie was going to get voted out or not. Maybe she thought Huda was or Taylor. So then when it came down to the final vote, she was just like, oh, fuck, this is actually happening. Yeah.
And I do think that maybe Amaya got the ick from Charlie for even trying to talk to her, which makes sense too. Like, from Amaya's perspective, I've been like, that's kind of weird. Like, you came to me. I'm literally like the last person you should be trying to talk to.
Right. But Charlie goes, can I go up to Hannah? And Ariana's like, you can do anything you want.
Can I move?
And then this was actually genuinely one of the saddest moment. He goes up to hug her. She's bawling. Like, oh. He's like, it's okay. And then the amount of TikTok edits I saw to Gracie Abrams again that they did with Bella as well. I had a feeling you got that one's Sydney Rose, but still same essence. And it was just like, it's so sad because it was
sad.
Damn, like this does feel real.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it's being broken up. And like, I mean, again, I think it was the same time as like when Rob and what was her name? Andrea, they got broken up, but that wasn't as sad.
No, it wasn't because we wanted Andrea to go.
Right.
But no, seeing Hannah, who was literally like the happiest person, be so distraught. That was sad. Seeing the cast sad. That was sad. Seeing them have to pick. Like, that was really hard. Watching it all. But I really thought, of the 3 of them, I thought Taylor should go home if you're talking about, like, strength of connections, at least from our perspective.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he was bored with Olandria. He wasn't talking to anybody else. So.
It just seemed like they kept him because they were, like, close with him.
Yeah, which is why they kept Janae last year. So I get it.
But we like Janae.
We did. I don't really like Taylor that much.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
I'm not high on Taylor at all.
No, and I'm a little like he's kind of funny sometimes, but I don't know. Olandria deserves better. But yeah, Charlie's dumped from the island and he will be leaving immediately. And he has 30 minutes to pack. And Ariana saunters off, leaving everyone in disarray.
Yeah, because Huda's also crying because she's just sad about the whole thing.
She got 2 votes. She got removed from her couple.
America picked it.
And she's just wondering why this is all happening. Which brings us to the next episode.
All right. So we jump into episode 13. The aftermath of it all. All right. So Charlie has been dumped and Hannah is weeping. The boys say bye to him and the girls comfort her. Amaya apologizes. So does Huda and Pepe. He looks stressed out. I think they're all saying sorry to Hannah. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
And then Pepe's just like,
oh, I thought I was excited to be in this couple.
Thought you'd be happy. We were making out all day. Hannah keeps repeating, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Cut to Rob.
It's not fair.
This experience failed him.
The villa failed Charlie. So Hannah and Charlie chat. She's crying and he looks like he wants to cry too, because he sits down and then he gets up and he's like, "Ma!" and he puts his hands on his face. And I was like, Charlie, please. This is a lot for all of us, okay? If you start crying, I don't know what's gonna happen, Charlie.
Right. This is too much.
He's like, "Look, Hannah, I'm so sorry. I loved getting to know you." I can't do an accent. Let me stop trying. He wishes they had more time, and she's like, "Look, if you're not couples leaving this villa, like, please promise I can come visit." And she's like, and then
sure.
And then they kiss, and he says everything she said earlier was amazing, and she's such a brave and strong girl.
Tragic.
I was like, this is so all the boys during this are standing around, and Ace asks Austin why he picked Taylor, and he's like, he couldn't make a choice. And Nick goes, "But do you see you're sending your bestie home now?" And Austin he said he felt like Huda and Jeremiah had a good connection.
Which, I mean, look, I said before, I thought Taylor should have been the one to go.
Yeah.
So, but no one else saw it that way.
Yeah. I guess in Austin's mind, anyway, he'd be betraying a guy.
Yeah.
So the guy he chose to betray was his best friend.
He's like, I'll just throw away this vote.
Yeah. It's like, okay. And then Nick turns to Jeremiah and he's like, "Look, no offense, but Hannah and Charlie have been through so many trials and they come back from it." And Jeremiah's like, "Oh, I haven't been through that with Huda?" And Nick's like, "Let me explain, bro. The biggest problem you had was another man making her a pancake, something she asked Taylor for." And Ace is like, "Are you a pancake, bitch? A pancake?"
It wasn't cooked.
She said it wasn't cooked all the way, and then I helped her make it. And Jeremiah's like, "Look, I can't control her. Like that, I can't control that she didn't pull people for chats. Like, that's not my fault. She just didn't get to know y'all." And Nick is like, "Both of y'all have been closed off since day one." And Jeremiah's like, "If you find someone you want to explore, what's the issue? How you gonna tell me how to date?"
The fuck?
He says the fuck a lot.
He does. I'm like, Jeremiah.
And Nick's like, "Why is she putting hickeys on you to like show you're closed off? Not because you say so. She's like marking it on your body." And he's just like, "You don't see that that's crazy?" Meanwhile, the girls can hear, and Huda, like, eyes puffy, cheeks red, eyes red, is just like, like watching. And I think it's Olandria's like, "Don't listen. Don't listen
to what they're saying."
And Jeremiah's like, "Look, we instantly liked each other and we explored that." And Ace is like, "You're bullshitting, man. You're lying, and I'm not going for that." And Jeremiah's like, "What's the bullshit?" And Ace is like, "You acting like y'all are all in about one person from day one. That's scamming." And Jeremiah's like, "The point of Love Island is to find someone you like, and I did that." And Ace is like, "How are you so sure about someone 30 seconds in? You're scamming, bro." And Jeremiah's like, who said so sure? Like, I got to know her. Like, I picked her and I got to know her. And Nick is like, "Bro, you swerved the second person who came on the platform." And Jeremiah's like, "I didn't want her to steal me. I don't regret a damn thing I did."
Also, it was Ulissa. So, like,
context matters.
It does matter. So, I did feel a little bad for Jeremiah here.
I was like, wait.
Because I'm not even saying what the guys are saying are necessarily wrong.
Right.
But it's hard when people are like, multiple people are ganging up on him. It's just like, "You said you liked her and we don't know."
It's like,
and it's like, okay.
America had a vote, and y'all actually don't know why we voted the way we did. Ace.
Y'all aren't completely wrong,
but to gang up on your friend like that, and in the way that there's a way to talk about to somebody about something, and they're just like backing him in a corner. And Nic is like, you think we're the only people seeing this? It's America. And Ace is like, do you know how much America is? I don't know if you saw. So somebody on TikTok broke it down. After Ace said this, they all turned around and like look.
Oh, really?
Past Taylor in the distance. Ace goes, do you know how much America is? And they all like look away. So I don't know if there was a producer back there being like, stop talking about America, or like, maybe. I don't know if they were like, yo, chill or something. I don't know what they saw. I don't know if it was Huda made a sound or the girls or something, but it was like they all looked back for a second.
Huh.
And then they kind of changed the subject because Jeremiah, well, no, never mind. They don't. Because Jeremiah goes, what the fuck? Like, America's not dating. What the fuck? America's not my relationship. What does that have to do with anything? And Nic is like, I'm just saying how I feel. And Jeremiah's like, I don't give a fuck about how anyone feels about how I like someone. And Ace is like, cool, understood. And Jeremiah's like, if I'm BS, then stay on that side. And Ace is like, I've been here since day one. And Jeremiah's like, for sure. So yeah, they kind of stopped arguing with him.
Yeah.
After they all turned around. I don't know what that was. Conspiracy, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, they all ganged up on Jeremiah and instantly made it seem like America voted because y'all were closed off too soon.
Yeah.
That's not why I voted.
That's not, it might be a percentage, but it's mostly just the toxicity.
Yes.
And the dynamic.
Right. Like Huda's I mostly voted because I felt like Huda was acting like super territorial, really like unhealthy. It did not look great. Yeah. Jeremiah is like playing into it, talking about weddings and stuff, and it's like, no, I think you guys need to see that this is not not great.
And they would fight about dumb shit. It was just exhausting, and it continues to get more and more exhausting, believe it or not.
Because on the day we voted was the Pancake Gate. And was there something else?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think because there was something before that where she was just like, oh, you said you would try more and like all this. Like, you don't do the dates.
You don't do enough and all that stuff. Yes. So Jeremiah in his confessional is like, the second Charlie went home, the Brotherhood disbanded. And he's going home, but it's me and Huda's fault for closing off fast. Like, it sucks. I lost all my friends today. And I was like... Dang, Jeremiah.
Now I have no friends.
I mean, I don't know how good at friends you could be. But anyway, Huda turns to the girls and she's like, it's not our fault we found each other. It's the way God wanted it to happen. And this is where I was like,
don't bring God into this.
Please. The vote should have came with a disclaimer.
It should have. The reason why.
God, bitch. This is crazy. Not God wanted it back. And then she was like, I feel like America hates me. And Olandria was like, America may not hate you. You don't know what's going on the other side. Maybe they know something you don't. And Huda's like, I don't know what's going on. And Ace is like, go talk, or Olandria says, go talk to Nic and Ace. They did it in front of you for a reason. Mm-hmm. And Huda's like, but why are they judging us if we're good? Is it their ego, or they just don't like it when we're happy? And I was like, probably a mixture of all three.
Probably, but also you're not happy and you're not good.
You're not.
And that's the part you're missing.
Yeah, like, girl, you were mad at him this morning.
Yeah, literally before the recoupling.
Yes.
You were getting on him about kissing Olandria in the challenge.
Yes.
So, like, what are we talking?
And the pancake and all the other stuff.
Like, come on now.
And then Huda in her confessional looking distraught. America thinks I'm not good enough for Jeremiah and they hate me. And I'm sorry. That's all I can say. And then I felt bad a little bit, but then I was mostly like, but your inability to not your inability to self-reflect is what makes all of this harder.
Yeah.
We voted you out, not Jeremiah.
We voted Jeremiah to recouple with someone.
Yes, not you. We could have put you with Pepe or Jalen, but we didn't.
Well, we couldn't vote on the. Well, wait, no, because she was in a. Wait, oh, we could have.
But we chose to put Jeremiah in a couple, not you.
That's true.
He's just like, I don't know why everybody hates me. I was like, I don't know what I expected. But she's acting like herself.
Like this is very Huda, and we'll see more how that develops.
Yes.
Because she out Hudas herself.
So Charlie is still here, guys.
Right. Charlie's gone nowhere. Ariana said 30 minutes. Like, you have
You have
30 minutes.
30.
And he's like, oh, 30 minutes. That means now, right? No.
Charlie packs and he thanks the boys for a great summer. Austin in his confessional is like Charlie was his best friend and he regrets it. He's pissed. Nick in his confessional says he loves Charlie. He and Hannah were on their way. He respects him and it hurts. Hannah cries more, saying goodbye, and the girls cry a lot, and then they kiss goodbye. He's devastated. This is Charlie's confessional. He says he's devastated they didn't know what he and Hannah had, and it sucks. He's sad. And then and then Charlie leaves. He does his walk out, and Hannah cries in bed next to his picture.
She's just like the Polaroids or the photo. She's just
like weeping next to the picture.
Jeez, Hannah, love this, but also calm down.
Oh my gosh. I hope that when you leave the villa, we can laugh at that together.
I feel like she would. Her TikToks have been coming across my TikTok algorithm now.
Oh, she's funny?
She seems fun.
Okay. So Olandria, Iris, Chelley, and Amaya chat kind of in the hallway. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yo, I'm so confused. Like, how could America have voted this way? Is Jeremiah a fraud? Iris thinks it's because we want them to test their relationship. I was like, you're close. Olandria's like, you have to test it. That's the only way it will work. And Amaya's like, the guys were just arguing with Jeremiah. And Iris like, would Jeremiah have left? The girls say no. So they're all just trying to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Olandria says America knows stuff we don't. And in her confessional, she's like, what the fuck are y'all saying that I'm not? You tore us up with that one. This is crazy as fuck. Everyone's beefing now. And it's like, so I didn't anticipate everyone being miserable.
I know, right? We didn't think the whole villa would implode.
Right.
But alas, that's what happens.
So Austin and Jeremiah talk, and Austin is now Jeremiah's last friend. Mm-hmm. And Austin's like, what the fuck, man? He's gone now, talking about Charlie. And Jeremiah's like, why am I the bad guy in this? I didn't vote or do shit. I'm surprised Nick did that. And Austin's like, I'm not. He's an Ace follower. And then in the distance, you can see Ace like standing up and talking to everybody. So Ace is talking to Taylor, Pepe, and Jalen. And he's like, that is scamming to me. To be sure, day one, I'm not falling for that. All of America sees it. You're here to say you made it all the way to the end from day one, or one person has stronger feelings than the other. Am I the only one seeing that? And the guy is like, just kind of like, yeah. And in his confessional, Ace is like, you won't send others home who are trying. Fuck that. That's weird as hell. So I guess that was his reason for not wanting to vote out Taylor or Charlie. Yeah. And why he wanted Huda to go home.
And he's really just trying to like get everyone like to see his point. He's really like leading the charge.
He is.
Just like, and then this is why I feel this way, and this is why we should all feel this way.
Right. And it's like, it's kind of annoying.
A little. It was funny.
It was. But it's just like, relax, man. I don't know.
The passion was a lot. It was kind of like, okay, you like said your point. You said your case. You said it to Jeremiah.
You said it to Jeremiah. Now Jeremiah's not next to you. You're still telling it. And he's going to talk about it more and more.
Yeah.
Hold on, I lost my spot.
I had a feeling you got everything you wanted.
Oh,
y'all know this song. That's what was playing when Hannah was on her photos.
On her pillow. So Austin and Jeremiah keep talking. And, oh, wait, no, this is... Oh, okay. Austin and Jeremiah talk again. And Austin's like, why is Ace so emotional about this? Look, he's standing up and talking about it. It's crazy. And in his confessional, Austin's like, it's not fair for them to go after Jeremiah. He should be pissed now. He's with Iris and he doesn't want to be. And then Austin tells Jeremiah, like, fuck all of them. It pissed him off. And he hugs Jeremiah. And Jeremiah's like, it's fine. We'll figure it out tomorrow. And I'm like, Austin seems to be the only one that clocks that, like, Ace is, like, a ringleader of sorts. So Hannah pulls Pepe while Ace continues to preach. She says she didn't want him to feel bad, and because they just started exploring, and she felt torn between two people. This is also his journey, and he deserves to find someone. And he says he wanted to take things slow with her anyway, and he just wants to make sure she's good. And she's like, I am. And he's like, okay, good. I'm like, glad you're feeling better. And she says she is. She's just a crybaby. And then in her confessional, she says she feels bad. She doesn't want him to think she's not happy about being coupled up with him. There was a spark, and clearly America saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's good, Hannah, because you confused me there for a couple minutes, sis. I was like...
You know, the emotions just took over her.
They did.
In the moment, and, you know, I think she did like Charlie more, but now she's like, well, I am on Love Island, so I'm going to explore my options.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she, like, took the initiative to talk to him. Like, that was nice of her.
Yeah. So
Ace and Huda chat. She pulls him, and Huda is like, "Is there something you're not telling me? Like, please don't make me look stupid." And is there something you're not telling me? Like, please don't make me feel like she's hyperventilating.
Yes, she's going through it.
This is sad, but also like pathetic looking. I'm just like, Huda, take a minute.
Yeah.
Get your composure. Relax a little.
Right.
And then talk to Ace. But like we see her, I think in this episode and the next, like she just moves so fast when she's upset. She doesn't take a moment to like do anything for herself.
No, there's no moments to talk herself down.
None.
Anything like that. That's not a question. That's not going to happen.
She's like, I need to hurry up and get to the bottom of this.
This is probably the most calm we've seen her actually, which is shocking.
Right. While she's hyperventilating. So Ace goes, he feels it's giving love bombing, and it's weird that they're locked in since day one. He's not buying it, his whole spiel. And he's not the only one who noticed, and America feels the same way. And in my head, I'm like, we gassed up Ace too much. Like, don't speak for us, Ace.
We made Ace feel as though he knows too much.
And it's like, you're kind of right, but you're kind of not. Meanwhile, Iris and Jeremiah talk. And Jeremiah's like, I don't know why America voted that way. I'm shocked. And Iris is like, this is a place where exploring is socially acceptable. Maybe America is fighting for that. And Jeremiah's like, we had an argument a few days ago and we bounced back. So this is just weird to me. Back to Ace and Huda. Ace goes, IDK, why you've been through... He says, I don't know what you've been through in your past, but it's a red flag to let someone be so close to you from jump. Huda's like, can I tell you something? The reason why I'm moving the way I'm moving and investing time in one person is because I'm a mom. Mamacita.
Mommy. And Ace gives her nothing. He's just like, okay. Mm-hmm. And she waited. She was expecting like a reaction like, oh my gosh, I see it, like yes, or oh, that's great. But she was like, I'm a mom.
And Ace is just like, mm-hmm. Oh.
So that is why. It's like, okay, Huda.
She's like, it's not easy to date. And Ace is like, I understand. My mom was a single mom. I was like, Ace has no care or compassion or empathy for you, which is a little concerning. But like, maybe you just can't manipulate him with his information anymore. I don't know.
But what would saying you have a daughter? What relevance does that have to this?
Yeah.
That you're willing to lock it down that quickly with someone that you're toxic with, but you're doing that because you're a mom?
Yeah.
Like, what is he supposed to do with that information?
Right. And it's the way you just said it, Brendan, it's not logical. Like, I'm a mom, so I lock down quick. Like, if you're a mom, maybe you should be careful.
Right.
With who you're...
maybe if it's healthy, then that's fine. But clearly... It's not.
It's not. No. And Ace is like, I understand. My mom was a single mother. I can understand why it's harder to date. And Huda's like, in my brain, I left her to have this experience. And clearly, America doesn't agree with this experience. And Ace is like, I understand America's position in this too. With this situation, it could be a blessing in disguise, as if we're saying, Huda, this isn't for you. America is saying that. And in her confessional, Huda's like, I don't know what's going on. Does America hate me? I don't know what the fuck is going on. And she's just confused. And I think in her head, she's probably like, America could hate me, but they probably don't. It's Jeremiah.
They definitely don't hate me. Like, I think they're really looking out for me is the thing. So just like, and this is just validating.
Yeah, like I'm single because like they like want me to like take care of myself. Mm-hmm. And then like find somebody.
to have that, what did Bella say? Delulu is the Salulu. In this case, that's why they were so close.
No, for real. And the girls don't help. But look, it's not their fault. Unfortunately, our vote didn't come in with any disclaimer. So it gets to just...
It didn't.
It just gets to fuck everything up.
Up for interpretation.
Which is honestly great entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying to see Ace feel like, I'm right. I was right. So Jeremiah and Iris talk, and Jeremiah says again he didn't expect the guys to switch up and blame him for getting close to Huda so soon. And Iris is like, yeah, that's true. It's not your fault. And Jeremiah is like, what's fucked up more is losing the guys off of one thing. And Iris is like, I always say things happen for a reason. And she apologized for what happened. And he says she doesn't have to. And Jeremiah is like, it is what it is. Maybe I'm doing things wrong, but at the end of the day, I have no regrets. And Iris is like, just be true to yourself and your heart. And in his confessional, Jeremiah is like, I don't know if America dislikes me or her or both of us. I don't know. Iris is beautiful, but I'm not going to jump from one person to person just because, I have to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you notice, but like when Jeremiah is backed up against the corner, or he's always just like, it's just one thing though. Like, why are they mad? Like, Huda, why are you mad? It's just one thing.
He doesn't.
Boys, why are you mad? It's just two things. Like
he can't really take criticism or anything.
Yes.
Anything against what he says, he gets very defensive. And sometimes I get it.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, well, maybe think a little harder about it.
Yeah.
And like maybe just take it in and don't get automatically defensive.
Sit on it a little bit.
Yeah. He's very sensitive.
Yeah, when he's backed up again, he doesn't really take feedback well.
No.
So Huda's still talking to Ace. She says she appreciates his honesty and thinks, and says this is, everything happens for a reason. It just is making her second guess. Obviously, what she thought about Jeremiah is not true. And then Iris and Jeremiah keep talking. They dap each other. They're done talking. She daps him up or he daps her up, which I'm like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't give the girl a hug, Jeremiah, damn. But I think she offered her hand first.
Yeah.
And she's like, she asks if he will talk to Huda tonight. And he says, definitely tomorrow. He's not sure if he wants to talk. He just wants to talk to his pillow. And he walks away from her. And while he walks away, he's like, awkward.
He always does that after conversations. Like he's always saying something under his breath.
He is. And then Ace gets Taylor. Excuse me. And he's like, Ace says, when you don't step it up and you're not sure, you get put into situations like the ReCoupling, and now you are sure. Can you see yourself long term with Olandria? And Taylor's like, for real, yeah. Like I every day this past week, I grew to like her more and more. And I was like, when?
That part. I'm like, what are we just saying things to say things again? Like, I am not seeing any of this. I see you say this.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not feeling this.
Not at all. He's like, yeah, no. And I was like, Ace, you gotta lecture everybody tonight. Fuck. Like, oh my, your friend, you're like kicking everyone while they're down.
He is. He's like, now that America's clearly on my side, I know everything.
I know everything. Like, I haven't been in a relationship or nothing, but I know that this is right and this is like... I was like, okay. Even how he was like, because he was kind of talking hard at first, and then he asked the question a little soft, and I was like, okay, maybe it's better, but like, dang, Ace. Meanwhile, Jalen and Olandria are talking, and Olandria is like, America shook things up, and Jalen's like, I'm happy I was interested in you, and Olandria is like, you have great taste, and she said she needed this. It will show her if what she has with Taylor is stronger than what she could build with Jalen. And she's like, America knows I like a country man. In her confessional, she just says she's excited to explore. And then back to Ace and Taylor. Ace says, women like to see effort. If Jalen starts matching your energy, may the best man win. And in his confessional, Taylor says, it will be hard seeing Olandria sleep with somebody else. But it was like, it's going to be hard seeing Olandria sleep with somebody else.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's like, okay, thanks, Taylor.
Yeah. Jalen and Olandria are open to connecting and exploring and seeing where it goes. And then Ace and Taylor are still talking. And Taylor says, like, Olandria is a really cool person. And Ace is like, lock in. And Taylor's like, it's going to be tough. So they all get ready for bed. And Taylor is talking to somebody. He's like, he's shocked this happened. Huda is weeping in the shower because Jeremiah didn't check on her, which I kind of thought was like, when he said, I don't want to talk tonight, I'm tired, I understood that. But in hindsight, I was like, that is a lot that she just went through as well.
Yeah. You could at least check on her.
Yeah.
Because, like, low-key, she went through the most. She was almost voted out.
Yes. And I get it, because it's like the vote happened. All the guys are attacking him. And he is defending you. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but he's defending her. And then he's with Iris and, like, I guess has to try there. So he's just, like, drained. I understood that. But I was like, going to sleep...
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
You could at least like give her a hug, check on her, make sure she's okay, but to say nothing.
So she's in the shower and she's like, Jeremiah didn't check on me. I feel stupid for trusting him. I trusted this person with so much and I was so genuine. I almost got voted off because he wasn't genuine. I don't know if I want to find... I don't know if they want him to find better or for me to find better. And the girls say they want to see, she should see it as America trying to protect her. I was like, stop!
It's like, look, I'm not saying because Huda, they both deserve better. They both don't bring out the best in each other. But I don't know if that's the reason why the vote was made.
I was not protecting Huda. I wanted Huda to look at herself in the mirror for a second.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah as well, honestly.
Yeah, both of them, to realize that they're both bringing out the worst in each other, and this is bad.
Yes.
But
so America's now putting it in Huda's head that we're helping her. And Huda likes the sound of that, and she takes it and runs. So later in the shower, she's like, I don't want a man like that. You are a fucking liar. Get the fuck out my face. My husband would never do that. You're a fucking bitch. She's just going off low-key by herself. I think Olandria is taking a shower
I think there's someone there. And then Jeremiah is hearing everything.
And because she leaves and she passes him in the hallway. And he's like, I never lied to you. Like, by the way, I didn't lie to you. And she just walks past him and goes upstairs. And I was like, oh, okay. So then Jeremiah tells Austin, I should have talked to her after she almost got eliminated, but I just froze. Like, and now she's talking to me crazy, saying I'm a bitch and my husband would never. And then Sierra tells Hannah it will take time, but we're here for you. And Ace is still sleeping outside.
Ace is sleeping outside, which... I forgot he had been doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. Like, is it that bad with Amaya? You got to sleep outside? But we learned he has a great view later on.
Yeah. So he just really likes
maybe
it.
That's part of it.
So he's still like, after, it's been a couple days, you still want to sleep outside? All right, cool. So we get to the next morning, and the new couples in the night or early in the morning get a text, and they're all they go outside, they read it together, they're going on a triple date, and the girls are really excited while they're getting ready. Jeremiah says he's fucked up, but he's going to try and make it a good day. Hannah says there will probably be a Hurricane Huda while they are gone. And I was like, now y'all coining the term.
She's like, I got the name.
Pepe tells Jeremiah that it's good. Huda is still here. But Jeremiah says that shit's over with now. And she was calling me a liar and a bitch yesterday. And then Olandria, Iris, and Hannah are ready to make it count. They're excited. So in his confessional, Jeremiah is like, I'm trying to get out of my head. But after what Huda said about me last night, I think that's what America was trying to protect me from, that type of behavior. And I was like, yes, mostly.
Yeah, you're more on track. Like,
It's a combination of everything.
I've been seeing, like, there's a lot. I would say there's more anti-Huda. But then there is a lot that are like, they're trying to make Huda be bad when she's just reacting to Jeremiah and all this. And I'm like, look, sometimes, sure, I can get that. A lot of times.
No. I think we should go through it and be like, we need a meter.
Yeah.
Is this reaction reasonable? Reaction reasonable? Because... at the end of the day, no one can make you do anything. You are still responsible for your emotions. So you crash out, but you can't say you made me crash out. No, like, you're in charge of your emotions. Yes, people can get under your skin, but part of you lets them. You know what I mean? So it's like you're responsible for how you react to things. And if it's just a singular moment, we can have grace for that. Right. If it's all the time,
I don't know. And as we'll learn later, she doesn't seem, I don't know if she has like a listening problem or like she's just a liar. But we'll see later.
She picks the narratives that she
hears one thing and then draws a conclusion that is interesting.
It is.
But it was funny before when she was getting ready, Hannah, she was like, damn, the body's not even cold yet and I'm already going on a date.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about Charlie. Oh, man. So the boat leaves. And then who wakes up first? Huda pokes up out of bed.
She becomes, I saw someone call her the girl from The Ring. They like did a side by side of her in the dark, just like, and then the girl from The Ring, like by the well. And she even acts like it when she wakes Taylor up. She's like, Taylor,
they left.
And like hits his face or something.
Yeah, it was
an aggressive wake up. I was like, okay.
Right. So she's like, they're gone. And she sits down after she tells Taylor, and she's like, I hate this. And I'm like, sis, I feel you. I really can empathize.
Yes.
But Huda,
you have to relax. Like, this is just like a lot. Like, she's living in her own like MySpace, like, woe is me. Like,
yes.
What's that Flyleaf song? I can feel you all around me, thickening the air I'm breathing, holding on to what I'm feeling, savoring this heart that's healing.
100%.
Like, that is playing with her in her head every night when she's just like crying, when she's just in the bed.
I was like, y'all don't got a therapist on site. Like,
no, I know.
Huda needs somebody to talk to. Like,
yeah, that's the thing with Huda. It gets to like, all jokes aside, a kind of concerning.
No. I 100% agree with you. Like, this is not okay.
No.
This is not okay. So, yes, this is low-key like why we wanted her to have a wake-up call. Because it's like, girl, you're crashing out.
But she won't. She
and
won't
the last straw for most... No, she won't. The last straw for most people was that damn back bend. If you would have just mind your business.
I know, that one was bad. And then she proceeds to do more. And there was something she did at the end of this episode, Saga, that I really didn't fuck with. Yeah. And we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. So, the girls comfort Huda when they wake up, when the lights come on, and they see her sitting in bed. And she's like, this man did me dirty, and now he gets rewarded with a fucking date. Huda, it's not his choice.
No, the way she like gets mad about things that actually like there's some things I'm like, yeah, he should have talked to you, like, of course.
Yeah.
But the other things are just like, and you take her on a date and you sleep in the bed with her. It's like, okay, well, that's like, this is kind of the process. Like, granted, he could have slept outside, sure, but like, I don't know. Ace was taking soul ties. Like, come on.
Ace basically took the only like bed outside.
Right. Like, I don't know. Like, I get it, but I'm also like, he can't say no to the date.
Yeah, like you wanted him to be like, I'm not going, or leave the experiment with you. Like, yeah. I don't know. So anyway, and that's also another sign. He got rewarded with a date. Huda, he did, not you.
Also, like, rewarded is a way to put it.
Right. He doesn't even really he didn't really like seem very happy to be coupled up with Iris.
Yeah, like he seems neutral.
And that's the other thing that's frustrating about her the narrative in her mind cannot be refuted by things that are happening in real time. Like, Jeremiah stood up and defended you in front of all the guys who were ragging on him, basically calling him soft and like a love bomber and all this stuff, and he defended you. But none of that matters because he didn't come and talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, he should talk to you, but like, nothing he does helps.
She's very 0 to 100.
Yes.
There's no middle ground with her. Like, be annoyed, but you don't have to take it all the way. Like,
yes.
But you know.
So Taylor tells Nic what happened when he woke up, and that Huda woke him up. And Nic's like, waking us up is not gonna bring them back. And they are so over her shit.
No, they really are. They're like, it reminded me. Because then when I watched a little premiere, I went back to watch the aftermath of Andrea.
Oh, yeah.
And Aaron had said, oh, well, we think that you, Leah, and you, Liv, maybe did it because you wanted to get at Rob. And then Leah goes to Serena and she's like, Serena, they're saying like that maybe we did it on purpose. And Serena's like, I can't. This is crazy. She's gone. What can we do?
What can we do? Why are we still talking about it?
Like nothing can change.
Oh, and remember how we love Serena? I really like Amaya's voice. I like the little raspiness and stuff. I was like, can I have your voice, please?
I love her voice. I love Hannah's voice. I love Chelley has a very calming voice.
Yeah.
Olandria has a nice voice. They all have nice voices except for like well,
you gonna say Huda?
Her voice isn't bad, but she just like when she yells, here's the thing. She's one of those like I don't know if it's her voice, but she's very cringe, but thinks she's like being like a badass.
100%.
That's what it really is. It's like she thinks she's popping off and like saying it how it is, but really it's like
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, girl, stop. Stop. Like, for real, stop.
Stop.
Like, it's too much. Ace asked the boys for help doing a ping pong and pancakes date. And I was like, Ace.
This week at Dave & Buster's, we're doing a ping pongs and pancakes. Shut up.
And I thought he at first said it was for the girls, but it turns out it's just for
I
Chelley.
did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it's just.
For him and Chelley. I was like, I thought he was going to do it to like cheer them up or something.
Yeah.
But then he tells them, like Taylor and Nick, Ace will call Chelley down and someone will say, welcome to Ping Pong and Pancakes. And then he's like, man, I'm about to pull out all the stops. Then we go back to the date.
Said welcome to Ping Pong and Pancakes. It reminded me of like an animatronic, and all I could see is Nick and Taylor being like, welcome to Ping Pong and Pancakes. Welcome to Ping Pong and Pancakes. Welcome to Ping Pong and Pancakes.
Hold this. Here are the
actually would have been funny.
Then we go to the date. So the boat stops off at a dock, and it looks like they're at a private island. So Jeremiah and Iris kayak, and she's kind of like showing him what to do. Olandria and Jalen walk on the beach, and he talks about how it was his first time out of the country. And then Pepe and Hannah get on snorkeling gear, and they're like fishing and flirting because she's like, isn't this my best look yet? And he's like, haha, yeah, I never looked better. And they're like really like flirty and they joke. It was cute.
It was.
Back at the villa, Ace calls Chelley down, and so they tell her welcome to pancakes and ping pong, whatever fuck, and they tell her for every point scored, the person will be fed a pancake. And Nick is like moderating, and Taylor's keeping score, and it looks like the other girls are watching too because they're all there, except for Austin, who's at the counter looking very sad, eating alone. Chelley gets a little competitive with it, but she ends up winning. I was like, did he let her win? But I believe Chelley's good at ping pong because they've been talking about Chelley playing ping pong. We just never seen it.
Yeah, this was the first time we actually saw it, I think.
Yeah, so everybody cheers. Chelley won. In her confessional, she was like, it was so fun. I love how nice he's being. These things are growing on her, and she's growing more on Ace, she thinks too. She's like, man, this love triangle is crazy. Back at the island, Pepe and Hannah talk about love languages on the dock. Hers is acts of service, and that's kind of like part of why she likes to cook. And he asks what her non-negotiables are, and she says she's been in tough relationships before, and she ultimately doesn't want her relationship to define her. She wants to be her own entity, and he agrees. He wants to find someone who has the same drive and ambition in whatever they like to do. When you're happy in your world, and it makes less commotion for you and your person. And Hannah said, if he can see that, then he's a really great person. So they're kind of hitting it off.
They're having nice combos, nice chats.
Yeah, when Jalen talks, I'm just like, not Jalen, when Pepe talks, I just wonder if what he's saying is genuine.
Yeah, he has like a vibe, and from what we've seen, there was like this TikTok of his ex that I sent you. He seems to be, I don't know. And also he'll like post things, like his posts are kind of cringe on TikTok. Like he very much feels himself. Yeah,
and we mentioned it, and I think I noticed some people saw it on TikTok too, that he said the same things to Sierra and Hannah. So I get that, like, maybe you have pickup lines, but damn, it was like your eyes.
At least change it up a little.
Right. So I just wonder if he's genuine.
Hannah, I think, is going to have fun at Casa more.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Jalen and Olandria are on the beach, and there's a massage table, and he gives her a massage. And they talk about family. He says he loves his family. He was raised by his mom, and he says all women raised him. She was like, I was raised by a single mom, too, and I think that that's what made it hard for me to let a man lead me. He's like, I understand because you're not used to it. And she's like, yeah, the longer she's single, the more of a masculine role she takes on, and she doesn't want to do that. She knows she can be a lover girl. It will take the right man to bring it out. And he asks if she wants to have a family. She's like, yeah, 4 maximum, 2 minimum kids. Maybe we will see after the first one. And then she liked the massage from him. So they switch spots, and he starts to give her, or she starts to give him a massage. And then she asks if he does this often. He says that she seems like she knows what she's doing during the massage, and she's like, I'm just winging it. I gave you a little bit of elbow, a little bit of karate chop, a little bit of this, and I was like, they're funny.
They are. Mind you, Olandria looks stunning entire time.
She does.
Getting the massage, then giving it, like, she has a cowboy hat on. She looks amazing. It's really unreal.
Does. It does.
Her body, oh my God.
I was like, Olandria, I need to go to the gym.
I know, right? I've been skipping this week. I went on some walks, but.
So afterwards, they hug, and he leans in and gives her a kiss on the cheek that I don't think she wanted.
Yeah, she, like, probably, yeah, it just, I don't know. Kisses on the cheek can be awkward.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was fully into it.
Yeah, I don't think she was feeling it too much. So then we go back to the villa, and Taylor talks to Ace and Nic. And Ace says Ace is on his soapbox. Ace says Taylor's biggest problem is no sense of urgency and feeling like you need to step it up. Breakfast is now the bare minimum, fellas. How and then he asks Taylor, how are you gonna step it up so that she knows that no one can match the effort and energy that you come with? And Taylor's like, what else can I do? And that's why I think you don't care, because it's like you're not even thinking about it.
And also, like, I love Ace's TED Talk and how he's just like, we got to do this, fellas. Like, come on, we got to like step it up for our ladies and do more than making avocado toast. True. But I think also the thing with Taylor is there's just no feeling.
Right.
If you made Olandria feel well, like, I feel like breakfast kind of in this situation that they're in would be fine. Like, it's not about just making the breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like there's not an emotional connection to all of this that's making it feel like good and stable.
Right.
And like it's something. It's just kind of like, well, here's a dance lesson.
Yeah.
And I need to do this. Oh, we're going to do yoga because to make her feel special. And it's just like, but if the feeling isn't there, then nothing's there.
Right, because I think that when Ace does these activities and things, he really zhuzhes it up, and then he's like, he's taking that opportunity to like spend quality time.
Yeah.
You know? And like the other ones kind of feel staged, because I feel like the dance thing was Ace doing a dance thing, not Taylor doing a dance thing for Olandria. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I'm just like, I don't know. And it just feels really like there's a pool. Nobody goes in there. Take her on a swim. Walk by the beach. I don't know. Do something. Watch. You can cloud gaze. Like, y'all can think of stuff. But, like, I think just in general, spending time and, like, kicking it. Like, you know, just have some fun. Or make a meal together. Make lunch together. Maybe make breakfast. I don't know. You could do something, Taylor.
Right.
What else can I do? I'm like, just leave then. Just go home.
Just do nothing.
Ace is like, be creative. Listen to the things they say they like. And in his confessional, Taylor says, Olandria going on a date made him reevaluate. But it was like, Olandria going on a date made me like reevaluate something. And Jalen like just gets handed to her without even having to work for it. Now like, I need to step it up. And so he tells the boys, he's like, all right, I got to do something today. He sounds more excited talking to them than us. And I was like, you know that this is our impression of you, right? Right. This is our first impression of you.
We vote. Y'all know that now, right?
Right. Like, we watch you, Taylor. We see you. Amaya and Huda talk. And Amaya's like, this is such a fucked up situation. Like, you have every right to feel every way that you do. And I was like, Amaya, stop. stop, don't tell her that. Huda's like, when I first met Jeremiah, I wondered if it was love bombing, and I have been love bombed before, but now everything like that people are saying is adding up, and it doesn't make sense. Him not checking on me last night, me not being the first thing on your mind. What kind of man are you? You're telling me you want to be dominant and you want to be assertive, and like I take the lead too much. I'm gonna be assertive. This is why I take the lead, because you're a bitch. Brandon, movie night is gonna be epic.
No,
if they're both in the villa, movie night is gonna be amazing.
He's gonna see even all the times she didn't say to his face he was a bitch.
Right. And Amaya's like, the guys said that Jeremiah was making it all about him last night, and I was like, was he? Did they say that? Jeremiah was making it all about him?
Yeah, I mean, I get they did. We haven't gotten to that part yet, at least. I don't know why Amaya would think that. Well, maybe because, I don't know, they were all coming at him about it, but I don't think
he was defending her.
Yeah, he wasn't like, he was just defending their relationship. I don't think he was trying to draw attention to anything. So, but again, he didn't check on Huda. So.
He didn't, which is not good. I agree with her in that sense. But the like rabbit hole from there, and the like, this is like not, the deep diving and like taking this is not good. And Huda's like, yes, that's what I'm saying. He's selfish. It's all about him. It's always been all about him. Nothing has been about me. All I've done is put him first. It would take a miracle for him to win me back.
Would it? A miracle.
Oh, back to the date or Jeremiah's freedom party.
Freedom dinner. Lindsay Hubbard pops up. So,
freedom dinner.
This is a freedom dinner. We're all free here. Iris, you're free from being single. Jeremiah, you're free from Huda. I'm free from Carl. So,
Jeremiah's free. Huda's free.
We're all free.
So, like, Paige popping up, it just like made a bunch of connections this episode to Summer House. So Jeremiah and Iris are like coming back from kayaking. He thanks her for teaching him how to kayak. She says he did pretty good. They cheers to their first date, and she asks why he came, and he says he's looking for a best friend type of thing. He's big on joking and laughing and having fun. Maybe she hasn't seen that side of him, but she said she can tell like that he's funny. He's been like a goofy guy in the villa, and he's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, okay. He asks her what her dating situation was in LA, and she says she's been dating but hasn't found anyone she's interested in. And sometimes people are crazy, like you go on a few dates and they think that you're getting married. And Jeremiah's like, yeah, I get that. I was just in something like that. And I was like, are you talking about Huda?
Right. I'm like, what happened there?
Right. And she's like, she likes to take things slow and test things out. And then he says he appreciates her being patient since things were so crazy yesterday. And she says she wanted him to know that she is here to talk at any time. And she didn't know where he was, whether or not he was interested in getting to know her, but she's definitely interested in getting to know him. And he says he's excited to hit the reset button and get to know her and talk to her more. America put them together for a reason. So he said he's excited to at least talk for a little bit and see how it goes. And then they hug and they hold hands. I was like, he kind of seemed excited a little.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Back at the villa, Austin and Chelley talk. She says, after yesterday, she couldn't tell if Austin was mad at her or if he just needed space. Excuse me. She wanted to know where he was at in general. I don't know why Austin would be mad at her. Because of the vote?
Maybe.
I was like, what?
I guess.
Why is Austin mad?
Yeah, we didn't see anything else. Maybe the vote because they voted differently.
Oh, they did vote differently.
Yeah.
Okay. So Austin says he doesn't want to be in a love triangle forever. He doesn't know how to navigate where both connections are being explored in front of him. And Chelley's like, do what feels natural to you. Like if that's meditation and what feels good for you in a moment that can be shared with me, that's fine. Like let's do that. Just be intentional. And in his confessional, Austin says he wants to give up and tell her he's done, but talking to her makes him want to put in the effort because she's so emotionally mature and stable. And that's what's very attracted to him. And then Chelley tells him, you're here for a reason. Remember that when you get in your head. And Austin's like, I do deserve good things. And she's like, you do. And you're such a great guy. Nic and Huda talk. And I think they're on the dock. And Nic is like, the decision he made yesterday wasn't personal. And Huda's like, I understand. I get it was hard. I just want to understand why you did it. And Nic is like, Nic is like, my gut was telling me going through this experience with tunnel vision, having blinders up, I don't know, I don't like how people were moving in the villa, and that goes back to Jeremiah taking the easy route. And Huda's like, I feel blindsided in here. And Nic's like, I can see that, but I also saw a bit of being overbearing when the bombshells come in and you declare that Jeremiah is your man, and just like your feelings for him, like, I love you, I don't want to make you feel bad, I don't want to make you feel like this is a slap in the face, but I'm glad we're talking about this now, like having a productive conversation. And Huda's like, yes, I understand, and I'm one of the most understanding people you'll ever meet. And Nic's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little intimidated by you. And they laugh. And I'm like, this conversation feels like it was chopped up.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't flow.
It doesn't flow. It felt short.
And in the beginning of it, there's sun on his face. And by the end, he's in the shade.
Yeah. So it was probably really long.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know. Someone pointed out, too, how she, like, online, how she's very calm with Ace and Nic. But then when she talks about Iris, it's, like, crazy.
When she talks about Iris.
Yeah, and kind of to her, too, when she was, like, asking him. We'll get to it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just, like, when he got to the overbearing part, I was like, all right, explain. And then he switched to, like, I'm just glad we're talking. And that's when I was like, I wonder if they just cut it.
Yeah.
Because maybe, I don't know.
Because also they were direct in their speeches, but they're not the most direct with her as far as saying they think she's like, because I think they think she's like crazy and territorial and all these things and did the hickey and all that. They're not saying all that to her.
They're not because I feel like when they explain it to her, they blame it on Jeremiah. They didn't really point out her actions. Yeah,
which just feeds her whole America's saving me.
Yeah, no, because she's like, yeah, I was blindsided. And Nic's like, yeah, but a little overbearing, but I'm glad we're talking.
You do scare me though.
You intimidate me. Girl, it's not a compliment. That's not funny. Ace and Chelley talk, and she asks if he's happy, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. And she's like, it makes me happy, like, that you're happy. And he, like, plays with her ear, and she says she's ticklish. And he's like, where? And she's like, I don't trust you. I'm not going to tell you. And he's like, oh, I wouldn't trust me either. And he sits up and he, like, leans over to look at something, and she looks that way too, and he kisses her on the cheek. And they show Austin looking frustrated. But Chelley and Ace laugh, and she says he likes kissing her. And he's like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you like her, Ace. Stop stop fronting. You play too much.
They're being like silly and doing that like hard to get thing. Definitely. Or like whatever. And it's just like, it's just such a different energy than she has with Austin, which is why I'm just like, I don't. There's speculation. I've mentioned it before. There was speculation about them like being together and playing production and all that. And now more people, I guess there was a clip like on Valentine's Day. He was doing one of his videos where he was saying, okay, now everyone say happy Valentine's Day, Chelley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So people are thinking they probably talked more than they're letting on before, which I could see that. As far as playing everything, again, I'm not sure because like, I don't think production would be in on it. I don't know if they would be able to do all that. I don't know. And that would be crazy if this whole time Ace is like, you're love bombing, you're performing, you're doing all this stuff, and he was doing it. Yeah. I don't know if he's that good. That would be the irony of it all. I don't think he's that good of an actor. The real villain is Ace. I mean, from jump, I was not high on him. That is true. I don't really like him that much, but entertainment-wise, I get it. The boat people return, and they're dancing, they're jumping. Everybody in the villa's like, "Ah!" Chelley's like, "Huda, they're back." Huda looks pissed. So pissed. She's like, "I don't give a fuck." Everybody else is happy, and they go to greet them. Huda picks a chair, crosses her legs, puts her glasses on,
and just sits there. Taylor greets Olandria. He picks her up and kisses her. Jeremiah sees Huda. He's like, oh, wow. Amaya tells Huda to come and be unbothered. And she's
I am unbothered. I'm relaxed. I'm good. I'm very unbothered.
I was like, relax, bitch. You look so bothered.
The most. I want to point out two things. When the boat was arriving, Jalen dancing, he was like doing some like shake like that or something. That was like so funny. And then when Hannah got off the boat, she was like, hello, New York. Oh, and that's from the Hannah Montana movie when she gets off the thing and she's like, hello, New York.
Brandon,
and she's just back home.
You're peeping all these little things about Hannah I didn't even see. I love it.
TikTok did point that out. The reference and everything. Yeah, but that part was funny.
I think I did remember her saying that. I was like, I don't know what she's talking about.
They're not in New York.
Is this Good Morning America reference?
LOL.
So the boys go off and chat, the girls go off and chat, and the bombshells go off and chat. So the boys are chatting. Jeremiah's talking about the date. He had fun. And then the girls are chatting. Oh no, Olandria describes the massage. They were like, did you have butterflies? She's like, maybe moths. And I was like, she's like, I'm playing. And I'm like, not moths.
LOL.
Jeez.
I know.
Jalen, Iris, and Pepe are chatting, and Jalen says today was great. Pepe agrees. And then we go back to the girls, and Huda looks pissed. And Hannah says Pepe surprised her because he's so nice. And this is where Huda gets up, and she says, I'm going to the bathroom, and she leaves. Mm-hmm. So the guys are talking. Jeremiah's like, we kayaked, we had a good chat after. And Austin's like, where are you at with Huda? And Jeremiah's like, Huda's cooked. Like, I heard her talking about me in a shower last night. And meanwhile, Huda is walking past them. And Jeremiah's like, I wish that she went home because of the way she reacted. And Nic is like, is there a reason for her reaction? And Jeremiah's like, because I didn't comfort her. And Nic's like, why not? And Jeremiah's like, shoulda, coulda, woulda, been there. But when I realized Charlie was going, and Nic just cuts him off and says, as a man, it's your job to take care of a woman who you say you are committed to. I did lose some respect for how you handled last night. And Jaren's like, I should have. I don't want you to think I don't understand you because I do logically, but I'm saying I didn't want to, so I didn't. And while he's saying this, Huda's like sitting on the staircase.
Mm-hmm. Just listening. And then she takes her shoes off. And Nic's like, y'all's relationship has been tight, and I think last night was your biggest challenge, and if you can't work through things like that and you don't want to because you had a date with Iris, meanwhile Huda's here crying her eyes out all day, and now Huda is standing behind the boys listening. So Nic is like, Nic, pick us. I don't get Nic's. He seems to be taking up for Huda
all of a sudden when yesterday you weren't.
Yes, I get what he's saying about, because I think their thing is they don't believe Jeremiah as well. And it's kind of like, okay, well, you say you like Huda and like you love her and like all these things. But then like when it's time to show it and like you're there for her, you don't. And now you're kind of moving in. You're saying she's cooked. You're going on this date with Iris. It makes it seem like maybe it wasn't as serious as y'all try to made it seem to be. Mm-hmm. So, but it was quite the switch up because they were just voting out Huda.
They were. And I was like, y'all were just so mad. And I understood being like drained and not wanting to talk to somebody. Then you overhear them calling you a bitch. I'm not talking to you.
Right.
Why would I? Like, and he did actually speak to her. Mm-hmm. He was like, she passed by and he was like,
well, he just said, I didn't lie to you.
Right. And that could have been an opportunity to talk, but she just kept going.
Oh yeah.
He defended himself a little bit, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just didn't think that they should be blaming him for that, because how could you approach somebody who's talking to you like that? Like, yes, Jeremiah should do it anyway. You should talk to her.
Well, I think they're saying he should have done it before that. Because that was by the end of the night.
And he should have talked to her right away. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, how he could have approached that part after she did all that, who's to say?
Right.
But before that, just being like, hey, like when she was like crying and out there, he could have went up to her.
And yeah, and then Nick being like, you know, she was here crying all day. I'm like, he can't do anything about that. But yeah, I was very surprised that Nick was defending Huda. Maybe their talk on the dock was longer than we thought. So Nick is like, it sounds like you've given up on Huda because she called you a bitch in the shower. It sounds like you're giving up on her. And Jeremiah is like, it's hard for y'all to tell me for 2 weeks to explore. Then I do explore. I'm in the hot seat now for not exploring now. And I'm in the hot seat for exploring. So if I don't give Iris the time of day, I'm wrong. If I do, I'm wrong. And Huda interrupts and is like, by all means, explore. And then she's like, while she's walking away, she's like, fuck you. And Jeremiah's like, I didn't choose to go on a date, and that's what I get. So Pepe, Jalen, and Iris see this happening, and the girls see. And they're like, wait, what did Huda just say? So Huda's walking back to the girls, and she's like, he's a bitch because of the fact that he had a great day with Iris, and what we are doing, or what we are going through, he's using his date with Iris as a scapegoat so he can stay in the game.
No, wait. She didn't say scapegoat. She said he's using her as an scapegoat.
So that he can stay in the game.
An scapegoat.
A scapegoat is great.
A goat to escape. He's using her as an scapegoat.
That's like Cordell being like, I think you're missing the context clues. You're taking this out of context clues.
Taking it out of context, but also saying the wrong thing. And a scapegoat.
A scapegoat is crazy, Huda. And the girls are like, what? Like, what did he say? And she's like, look, I sat there and I listened to everything they said. He wants to drop me to go to Iris. And then she screams, no, you're a fucking bitch. He wants to use me to play the victim. And then she screams again, you're a pussy ass bitch. And the girls are like telling her like, yo, Huda, stop. Like, be classy. Cut it out.
They're like, come on, you can't keep doing this. No, you're a bitch. He's a pussy ass bitch.
I'm like, but shh.
He's a bitch.
Relax.
I need to talk to Iris.
Because Pepe asks if the bombshell should go down, and they're all like, no. And the girls tell Huda to calm down, and she's like, no, I'm sitting here crying, and Nick is defending me. And she sits down, and she starts crying more. And she bumps Chelley, is like, sorry, and she keeps crying. And Amaya's like, look, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry this is happening, and I'm sorry you're going through this. Like, Jeremiah is a piece of shit for that. And Huda's like, I listened to everything. Nick is trying to explain my feelings, and now he wants to be with Iris. You're a bitch. And she cries more, and she says that he's a pussy ass bitch. And then Iris, oh my god, this is crazy. Huda gets up. I have to pull Iris. I don't give a fuck. And Iris is like, this makes me feel so uncomfortable. And the guys say this is crazy. And the girls are also saying, like, everybody around the villa is like, this is insane.
It's just an air of awkwardness and just like uncomfortableness.
Can you imagine being there? Oh my gosh, like. And I don't think that Huda realizes that it's impacting the people around her. Like, she has no shame.
She's not aware.
Her lack of social awareness is interesting. Bless you. So Huda goes to Iris, and the girls are watching. And she's like, Iris, can we chat? And Iris is like, yeah. And I was like, I would have said no, bitch. I would have been like, later? I don't know.
I don't know if right now
you're really
I have a chance.
Scary. Like, you're freaking scary.
Yeah.
After you're screaming everywhere. And then she's like, boys, like, can you go so, like, we can have a private conversation? And Pepe wonders if they should stay nearby in case something happens. Like, she really freaked them out.
Yeah, because her energy was, like, wild. It was a little, like... It was just concerning. Like, we're laughing about it, but, like, low-key a little bit, it was kind of like, this is just, like, this feels deeper. Like,
yeah,
something's coming back. I don't know.
No, it's pretty concerning because it's like, yes, I get that you've been stewing on this all day. Here comes Jeremiah, and he's having a conversation that you shouldn't have listened to. Like, you created an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You listened to a conversation that wasn't for you, got mad at what was said, you know, like, while he's, like, venting and talking to the guys and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I saw something recent that was, like, emotionally, people who are emotionally immature maybe were never taught, like, how to regulate their emotions and regulate their feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's giving here, but
it is giving I don't know. It was like something came back from her past, clearly. Like maybe with a past relationship.
Yeah.
Where like something like really like maybe he cheated or something like that.
Yeah.
And she was just like, no, because this is that. And he's using Iris now and like all this. And it's just like, okay, well, I don't think it's all that. Granted, he wasn't saying the best things.
No, he wasn't. But like, you know, because she came back and is giving her interpretation of what was said to the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you missed the part where he was like, she called me a bitch, like all this stuff, like, and then you continue to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's actually what's making him not want to approach you and not talk to you because of how you're like behaving.
Yeah.
Should he have spoken to you? Absolutely. But we're here now.
Right.
And you're not making it better.
Yes.
You're not making yourself approachable. I'm approachable to people on
People just don't approach me.
So Huda takes Iris to soul time. She sits down, she get comfortable. Iris, how was the date? And then Iris is just like sitting like kind of near her, but like she looks a little timid. And Iris is like, she's like, how was the date? Because I overheard everything Jeremiah said and I listened to everything. So please tell me how the date went. And Iris is like, we just had a conversation and he said he was open to exploring. And Huda's like, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. And then the girls are like, should we go? Okay, let's go. And the girls go up there because Jalen and Pepe joined them. Probably told them, like, she told us to leave.
Yeah.
So Huda's like, this is bullshit. I don't do second chances. And then the girls join. And Huda asks, like, did he mention me? And Iris says no. And he just said that it was a stressful situation. And then she describes the date, like, what they were doing. And Huda's like, my dream date. That's my dream date.
Literally, Iris goes, we just sat at the beach. My dream date.
My dream date. My dream.
And he knows that. As if he picked the date.
Oh my god.
He
knows that. And then she starts to cry after she says that. And she's like, hearing how happy you guys were today kills me. Like, I know that you guys like loved it a lot, but like I've been here crying all day. Like, I hate to be the victim, like poor me, but it sucks. And Iris is like, look, girl, it isn't worth fighting for someone who doesn't give you what you need and not worth your tears, not worth your energy. And Huda's like, you're a liar. You're a liar. Full on crash out.
Yes, just like yelling for no reason. It's like, calm, Huda.
This is just sad to watch.
It was
sad to recap.
And then the people just like that are Team Huda are just like, well, y'all liked it when Leah did it. Leah didn't do all this.
No.
Leah would vent to her friends when they were getting ready. She would say one or two funny things, and then it'd be over.
This is a completely different situation.
Very different.
Completely different. Yes. So Ace is talking to the guys and he's like, this is what I knew I wanted to save you from. Well, not save you, but like, this is the type of shit like you set up for yourself when you close off so fast. Like, she's fucked up because he set the bar so high and it's hard to come back from that. And I was like, valid.
Yeah.
Olandria says, like, why would you want this anymore? And he was like, after I heard that shit, fuck that shit. The girls say he doesn't need access to her anymore. And Huda's like, everything he said was a lie. And they just show Jeremiah looking sad and confused. And Huda's like, he could have said something and he said nothing. I've been so genuine. And she leans over and sobs on a pillow. And the girls comfort her and Amaya says, come on, girl, no more crying. Like, the tiara has to be, it's been tilted, but it needs to be like put back straight now.
LOL. They're like, we got to get ready for the night, Huda. Let's go.
Yeah. And so they get ready and the boys tell Taylor that a full body massage is crazy. Huda says Iris moves very weird and she hides things and she's not a girl's girl.
I'm a girl's girl. It's like, no, you're not. How is she? What is she hiding?
Well, she told you what happened.
Right. And also, you were like kind of like close to her and being weird. She's not trying to be like, yeah, like I like Jeremiah or something like that. She's just like, it was just a date. Like, it was fine.
Yeah.
My dream date.
My dream date. Like, girl, what?
Stop it.
Everything is like personal.
Yes.
Really personal. Jeremiah said losing Huda hurt, but losing the boys hurt the most. And Nic says he wants to move on. He's still his dog. And Jeremiah's like, for sure. I was like, this is stupid. Hannah says she views Pepe differently now. She sees more from him. And Austin says he feels like he betrayed Taylor, and he tells Taylor he's sorry. And Taylor's like, it's all good. You were in a tough spot. And then Jeremiah says last night he sprayed his cologne on Huda's bed as a cute gesture. And someone in the room says that's toxic.
Tis is.
You did what?
That's fucking weird and toxic.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
And you didn't talk to her, but you sprayed your cologne on her bed?
Look, here's the thing. Huda's toxic, like bold font, like italicized, underlined. Mm-hmm. Whereas Jeremiah's toxic, not bold font, but italicized and slightly underlined. Mm-hmm. He is toxic, but he's quiet about his toxicity.
He is. And this was my first, like, what did you say?
And you're like, huh?
What the fuck? Spraying it on a bullet pillow is crazy.
That's wild. I cannot.
And then Sierra says she wants more smooches. So all the girls go down. They're all at the table hanging out, and Jeremiah pulls Huda. And Huda smiles at him and is like, okay. And so she's like, let's go to the speakeasy.
The speakeasy.
Let's go to the speakeasy. And he starts to say sorry, and she's like, look, save it for when we get there. And he's like, so you just want to walk in silence? And she's like, yeah. Like, okay.
All right.
Okay. And so they sit down, and he like smiles at her. And I was like, okay, Jeremiah, you're part of the problem. What do you she's been crying all day. You sit down and you're like,
he likes this.
He does.
He was into it. He was just like, so I'm sorry. Like,
he's 100% liking it. Like, I literally think he didn't talk to her last night because he's a dumbass.
Yes. But as I've said before, he's stupid.
You did say that. He's definitely a dumbass and didn't speak to her yesterday. But when he sat down and smiled, I was like, oh no. How, like, she's been distraught all day and you're smiling at her?
Yeah.
I don't know. That was weird to me. And this is why I was like, okay, Jeremiah, you're not innocent. I didn't think you were, but you're definitely not.
Also, I'm sorry, I hated Huda's outfit. She was so bad trying to have like a hot outfit with like the lace and the like short
and the
whatever it was, the purple. And when she walked down the stairs, she's like, yes, I am showing out. I'm like, stop. She likes like pirate garb. Like when she wore like that white two-piece, and now she's wearing like this fucking Renaissance ass lace with like the short just like undergarment. Like stop it. Huda, you're pretty, but stop.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the outfits this season have not been as great as last season.
No, last season had better ones. This one, there's some cute ones, but it's nothing like crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Yeah. So he says that he wants to talk, but he first wants to ask her, he smiles at her and says he wants to ask her how she's feeling, but first he wants to apologize. And he's like, I can't explain it, but I froze last night. I shut down and I wasn't able to be there for you. And he's sorry about that. He's not proud of it. And Huda's like, you play victim, and that was selfish. I've noticed patterns, and last night was the big one. Like, you don't care about me. And Jeremiah's like, that's a stretch. Like, he starts to talk, and they cut each other off. Huda's like, I didn't finish my story. Nope. Jeremiah's like, I'm not going to let you talk for 30 minutes and not get a word in. Like, that's how it usually goes. And Huda's like, I was second to getting voted off. And I checked on everybody, Taylor, Hannah, you. And nobody gave a fuck about me. You don't give a damn about me. And Jeremiah's like, I promise I did. And Huda's like, the worst possible scenario where I needed you, you weren't there. And Jeremiah's like, I was checked out. I wasn't able to be there. I have nothing left to give. I had nothing left to give anybody. And Huda's like, there's nothing left to give, then there's nothing left to give me. Like, don't bother. And Jeremiah's like, okay. And Huda keeps going. I cried myself to sleep, and you're sleeping in a bed with another woman. And Jeremiah tries to talk, and she cuts him off. You don't even care. Stand up for yourself, Jeremiah. And I was like, what do you mean?
Right, I'm like, are you like stand up against you? Like, what are we saying?
Why are you telling him to stand up for himself? And I was like, he was. And then you cut him off. And then when he just says, okay, you're like, okay, so stand up for yourself. And Jeremiah says, time the fuck out. And Huda's like, you're the reason I acted the way I acted. You're the reason. And you're not registering why I'm feeling this way. Or you're not understanding why I'm feeling this way and what I have been through up until this point. I don't want to do shit with you anymore. And that's where episode 13 ends. I'm sorry, these conversations are hard to read.
No, well, they're just so like the same yet different, and then they go back and forth, and it's just like this cycle. And it's just like, look, I'm like, okay, Huda, you're kind of making a point there where you're saying things like, oh, he doesn't, like, when you needed him the most, he didn't show up. I can agree with that.
Yes.
Then you just take it kind of left, and you're just like, America sees everything that's happening. It's all because of you. And it's like, okay, well, you have some ownership in this as well.
Yes, because this conversation goes into the next episode too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we just see more of Jeremiah not really taking responsibility for anything, like kind of being argumentative and not like seeing what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, you could have like, because I guess she's saying you weren't there for me. He's saying I couldn't be there for you. And she's like, but you still weren't there. Like, so what's the, like, what do we do? He wants her to understand him. She wants him to understand her. But both of their, like, it's not meshing.
They're not. And I think it was at this scene where the song Bumper Cars by Alex and Sierra was playing, who won X Factor US season 2 or 3. And what a throwback. They had a great album. I don't think they're together anymore, but we're like, bumper cars.
I think I remember hearing that. Something about cars.
I think also when they were getting ready, this may have been the time where Hannah was like doing her lips and she's like, what's the point in putting any gloss to if I'm just going to kiss it all off?
She's so cute, having the most fun.
She is.
And my aspiration is to be as happy as Hannah.
Agreed. Same.
All right, so episode 14 starts and Huda and Jeremiah are still talking. And Huda's like, you told me you would treat me one way and you're doing the opposite. How would you feel if I did that to you? And Jeremiah's like, I would never call you out of your name. I would never call you a bitch. Like, on my soul, on my mom, I would not do that to you. And Huda's like, any man in there would have went straight to his girl last night. And Jeremiah's like, for sure. And now I'm not a man. Cool. And Jeremiah in his confessional was like, what the fuck? Like, I really like her, but solving this thing with Huda, it seems impossible. Like, we have such different values and expectations. It seems like right now I have no idea what to do. And then Huda says, you show me that you're not as interested as I am. You may not agree with the whole pancake thing. And Jeremiah's like, okay, why would I think to make you pancakes when someone else is already making you pancakes? And the fact that we're still talking about this is kind of nuts. And Huda's like, I'm not bringing it up again. I'm saying in general, the situation I brought up to you and how I want you to step it up, that was the biggest opportunity for you to step up, and you didn't. And it's clear to America and the people in this villa that you're not as interested. And Jeremiah's like, I think you have it flipped. Ooh. I think you have done unhealthy things and she cuts him off. She's like, so you think America hates me? Your actions could have convinced America otherwise. And they see you're doing the bare minimum. And Jeremiah just looks at her like, girl, are you serious?
Right.
So that's her interpretation of what we did.
Yes. He's like, I think you might be the problem that America's seeing. And I'm like, it is mostly her. It's both, but it's mostly her.
It's mostly her, but yes, it is. It's the combination. It's what you bring out in each other.
Yeah.
Because even in this conversation, I feel like I kind of see Jeremiah like being logical and being a little reasonable. But yeah, they just don't hear each other out. He's not saying what she wants to hear and vice versa. So they're just going to keep going.
They're both always coming from a defensive place, but in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not like really solving anything.
No.
Just going back and forth. Amaya and Austin talk, and they like that they can keep each other's energy in check. She wanted to check in on him. She says she has an internal radar and it was going off. So she wanted to like make sure he was all right because he's such a nice, genuine guy. And Austin's like, thank you. I had a real backstabbing friend group growing up and I'm the type of person to want to work things through and then move on. And I think he was trying to say he could sense it in the villa maybe. And then Amaya's like, yeah, we're too grown for that shit. And in his confessional, Austin says Amaya is so nice and she's such a sweet person. Through and through. She understands where I come from a lot of the times and she's a breath of fresh air. I was like kind of excited to see them talking to each other again because I was like, we saw this early on and I thought maybe Amaya's crash out
ruined it.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, they've reconnected this episode and, you know, showing what we thought initially was true.
So Pepe and Hannah talk, and she says yesterday was really tough, but they made it through, and today she wanted to focus on getting to know him. And Pepe said he felt like those weird emotions too, but he came here to be honest and transparent, and as long as you do that, no one gets hurt. I was like, okay. And he's like, that's what you're gonna get from me for sure. And then they make out. And I was like, Pepe just says like things you should say.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten a sense of who Pepe is.
No.
Or anything like that.
Right. Really not at all. Yeah. And then in her confessional, Hannah says, he wows me. We will dive deeper and continue to grow this connection. Taylor... Taylor and Olandria talk, and he goes, how was your full body massage? And they laugh, and she's like, I wanted to tell you, like, how did you hear about that? But she was like, it was good. And he's like, did you guys kiss? And she's like, no, he kissed me on my cheek, but for him it's more physical, and Taylor didn't do that. And Taylor's like, yeah, like I wanted to connect with you mentally before physically. And Olandria's like, I like that because men don't do that. And Taylor said he missed her, and she agrees she missed him too. And in her confessional, she says, it's hard to watch someone you like go on a date, but Taylor handled it well. Green flags all around for him. And then they keep talking, and she's like, if you left yesterday, I would have packed my bags and left because I really like you. And then they go to the photo booth. In his confessional, Taylor says he's feeling good. He's glad that their connection is still strong, even though they're not coupled up and they're still acting like they are. And in the photo booth, they kiss and they joke. He messed up her lip combo, and then they joked about something else, and they're just vibing. Yeah. I was like, okay.
I guess this is the most I've seen them connect, but also I'm still like, where is this coming from? Yeah. Because it's randomly just like, okay, now like she's saying she would have left the villa if he was leaving. That's extreme. I was like, Olandria, no.
I was kind of surprised when she said that. I was like, are you being serious? Yeah. For Taylor?
Right.
Not Jalen? You sure you don't like Jalen? Right. And it seems like the physical thing is really what threw her off. Like, I guess maybe it's just Taylor is giving her something like that she really likes. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, Huda and Jeremiah are still talking to each other.
I know, right?
Jeremiah's like, I apologize for not being there for you yesterday. On God, on my mom, I promise Iris is not my type. And Huda's like, you still laid in bed with her and didn't. And Jeremiah's like, I laid away from her. And Huda's like, I don't care. And Jeremiah's like, leaving here, like leaving this conversation, just know that I did fuck with you and I did a pretty good job of making you happy. Like, at least you seemed happy. And I have no regrets choosing you. I have no regrets choosing you and not choosing anybody else. Even though we're here right now, I don't regret it. And Huda's like, man, you like really hurt me. Like, you really did. And Jeremiah just sighs and she's like, you broke my heart, man. So they get ready for bed. Iris is like, I have never dealt with a situation like this before. It's crazy. And then this is when I'm like, dang, Iris, I feel really bad for you. My bad, dog. Like, I didn't think about like that you would be caught up in the middle.
We didn't consider Iris in our vote, but we didn't. What was meant to be will be.
And I think that I wonder if she would have still tried to talk to Ace. We don't see them talking anymore.
We don't.
Did she talk to Nick too at one point?
Yeah, little in the beginning, but they didn't really have much going on.
Yeah, so I kind of feel bad for Iris. Taylor jokes and about Huda like laying back with her glasses and stuff, and he was like, "Man, as soon as that boat came up, she put her glasses on. She sat like this, and the boys were laughing, and it was funny.
It was. She wanted her moment.
She did. And then Jeremiah. Jeremiah and Huda are now finished talking, and he gets up, and he's like, okay, like, I'm good, and he gets up, and Huda's like, huh? And she's like, she gets up too, and he goes, no hug? Okay. And she's like, I'm not in the space to give you a hug right now. And I'm like, that's some weird shit, Jeremiah. Why the fuck would you ask for a hug right now? Like,
he's like, we just had a toxic fight. Where's the love?
Where's the love? And then Iris says, America. I don't know. Oh, Iris says America put her in the middle of something. And then Huda gets out of bed. Everybody like goes and lays down. Huda gets out of bed. She sees Jeremiah laying with Iris, and then she goes and cries outside.
I can feel you all around me, thickening the air I'm breathing.
And this is where I was like, did you want him to follow you? Like, did you?
Maybe.
And then you just waited outside with your cute, like, bunny slippers. I was like, oh,
she's like, in a perfect world, he would come out that door and check if I'm okay.
And comfort me, but he's not, alas. It's the next morning, and Jeremiah goes to Huda's bed and is like, sorry, I couldn't get up and comfort you last night. So I guess
he did know.
Yeah. And she's like, it's fine, we'll talk later or whatever. Nic says the relationship is toxic and it's sucking his energy. And Ace, or he says it's a little toxic, it's sucking his energy. And Ace is like, a little. Taylor and someone make breakfast for Huda because they don't know if Jeremiah will. It's like, can you guys just ask him? Because
that part,
there's so much going on. Like,
there is a lot. There's so many like double breakfasts like throughout these episodes. It's just like, just ask him.
Just
communicate.
Ask. I don't know if Jeremiah's gonna do it, because while they're doing that, Jeremiah is talking to Nic, and he's like, I don't know if I can make her happy. So he's just like a little late to get into the kitchen. So Taylor brings Huda breakfast. Jalen makes Olandria breakfast. And I think Olandria already had breakfast from Taylor too. And then Jeremiah brings Huda breakfast and sees that she already had food. He said he didn't know. And Amaya is like, Taylor brought her breakfast. Stupid.
A lot of breakfast.
Nic asks where Iris slept, and she was like, I was on the edge of the bed, and they laugh. Everybody is talking about Huda and Iris. This is like, I think it's Taylor. It's like the three couples, kind of. It's Taylor. Well, the three well, I don't know. It's Taylor and Olandria, Nic and Sierra, and Ace and Chelley. They're all sitting around talking about Huda and Iris. And Nic is like, if Nic asks if their relationship should be fixed, and Olandria says no. And Nic is like, the toxicity is affecting everybody. So Huda goes and she works out. And Jeremiah goes up to her and says, hey. I really hate, this is what I was like, Jeremiah, you're toxic as hell. What the fuck do you mean, hey?
No, like, he wants like a makeup at the squat rack, right, and like all this, and she's like, hi.
She's like actually like relaxing for a change.
She's actually like even but that's why he's like, wait, you're not being toxic and crazy right now. She's actually doing something healthy. She's regulated her emotions. She's like, okay, we got it all out, let me work out. And he's like, so hey how y'all doing? Yeah, because he's like, did you eat? And she's like, yeah, but I'll finish it later. And he was like, oh yeah, I saw like you had like 2 breakfasts. I didn't know if somebody else was making breakfast. And then she says they'll talk, and he like grabs her to hug her, and she's like, stop, you're sweaty. And he says like he figured some things out, and she's like, sure. And he's like, wow, you're a nonchalant queen. And she just makes a face. And I'm like, yeah, Jeremiah, you're toxic too. Like, leave the girl alone. She's just chilling. Like, you want a reaction out of her. Yeah. Because calling her a nonchalant queen is like, why are you being nonchalant? It's almost a question. It's like poking.
Yes. So then Sierra and them are talking more, and she says when Huda charged at Iris, it scared her. And Chelley says that Huda set the tone for who Iris could and couldn't talk to. And if you have to do that for every person that comes in here in the name of like your couple, then that's a red flag. And the girls agree. And they say, they look over and Huda's like posing at them, and they're like, oh, she thinks that we're staring at her. And so they just kind of laugh. And I was like, that was weird, Huda.
And Chelley's like, we're not. And then just smiles.
In his confessional, Nic is like, the villa's drained. We have all been focusing on one couple, but we have our own connections to figure out, and all of their energy has been on just those people. And Huda passes the group and just changes the subject. So we start to see some normal conversations, kind of. Jalen pulls Olandria, and he asks her how she's feeling, and she says she feels great. He asked if she liked the date. She said she loved it, and she really needed it because the drama in the villa has been really draining her. Yeah. And there's too much drama, like, follows Jeremiah. And thank God it was just 2 weeks and not 2 years. And Jalen agrees. And so I'm like, oh, so you didn't really like the date to hang out with him. You just liked it because he got to leave for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't blame you because it is stressful in there. I can't imagine. I would be exhausted with Huda.
Oh, yeah.
Like, girl, I gave you advice twice. I don't know what else to do.
I don't know what to say now.
I don't know what else
like,
to do,
we've
girl.
been doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Literally. Because then Jeremiah and Huda talk. Jeremiah says he had a realization about why things weren't working and why they had chemistry, but then they had some rifts. And he's like, they got intimate very quick and it became more relationship than friendship. And Olandria sees them and is like, oh no, I wonder what's happening. She's talking to Austin. Back to Jeremiah, he says, I think it would be good to go back to being friends. And because, we never like really got to enjoy that aspect. And he said shit got so, and Huda like starts moving her feet and stuff, and he like stops talking. I think he gets irritated, and Huda's like, I'm hurt. We were kissing and being so intimate, and there was a lot, and to go back to friends will not be easy. Iris sees them and she's like, man, she already has her legs wrapped around him. Like, I'm done. This is crazy. They can go be crazy together.
Right. She's like, I'm fucking over this. What am I doing?
I feel bad for her more.
Right.
Jeremiah's like, if there's anything left for them, he wants to try to do it. And Huda's like, I can't be buddy-buddy with you. I'm still hurt. And Jeremiah's like, I'm not asking for that. I was just, he wishes that they were in a couple so that he could be there for her. And Huda's like, last night you slept in bed with another woman, even after we talked. And Jeremiah's like, why is it an expectation for me to sleep somewhere else after a coupling I didn't want? And I'm obviously still feeling you. Like, it would be different if we were still good and we were together. And Huda's like, I'm not going to elaborate again. I'm not going to tell you what to do again. If this is how you think is going to make me like you again, then that's what you think. And Jeremiah's like, I don't want you to like me. Jesus Christ. And I was like, so don't fucking talk to me. What do you mean? And she like gets up and kind of tries to storm away. Oh, did she throw? Yeah, she threw a pillow.
She didn't throw it at him. I thought at first she was. She just like threw it. And I'm like, okay.
And Jeremiah's like, what do you mean? Like, you want me make you like me? And Huda's like, don't talk to me. Like, just leave me alone. It doesn't even matter. And she storms off and everybody can see.
He's a bitch.
And then she walks back. She's like, Jeremiah, like, just said, wait. Huda says, Jeremiah, you just said you don't care to make me like you. And Jeremiah's like, I didn't say I didn't care. And Huda's like, you did just say that. And at this point, I don't know what the fuck they said. Because I'm like, this is confusing. Yeah. You're arguing semantics.
Yeah. Because she said something like, he said it was like, if this is how you want me to like you again. He's like, it's not about you liking me again. Or I don't care. Like, I think he said it in response, but not just like, I don't give a fuck if you like... It was different. I think he was just saying it kind of as a response to what she was saying. Yeah. And then she took it like, you don't want me to like you.
What do you mean you don't want me to like you? Then what are we even doing? And she's like, Jeremiah, you're not understanding. Or Jeremiah says, you're not understanding. Like, they argue, they just keep arguing more. And Iris is like, this is the 15th crash out. Because I think someone said this is the second. And she's like, no, this is the 15th. And then Huda says, clearly, what I want, you don't want. So go ahead, brother, enjoy your life. And in his confessional, Jeremiah says he's disappointed. He tried to find a healthy solution. And if she doesn't like it, then it's okay. And so I'm like, okay, I could kind of see where Jeremiah's going. He's like an olive branch. Like, let's start over. Let's like try something new. But if it's not Huda's way, she doesn't like it. But it's like, it's frustrating because I remember her being like, you're not a man. You're passive. You don't take charge. And he's literally trying. And if it's not what you like, you turn up.
Yeah, because I get his wanting to like start over and start fresh. I don't know if they can be friends, but I mean, yeah, because I've heard some people say there's just like the idea's there, but I don't know if they can like go back and
Actually
be friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't. Again, I think she just wanted him to like sweep her off her feet and like want to be back in a relationship together.
Yeah, I don't really know what the solution is for Huda. Like, I don't know in the perfect scenario what she would want to happen right now, but it's not.
I don't know if Huda knows really either, to be honest.
Right, because she's like mad and like, I don't know. I think she just wants to hear that, like, or maybe like she just wants him to say he's wrong and she's right and she's been right and he'll step it up and he doesn't do enough and you know. And it's just so much. Because I get, like, her being like, no, we were already intimate. Like, I can't just be your friend. Like, that makes sense. But I'm like, he's throwing a bone out. And it's not working. So Huda goes to the group. And I think Ian Sterling says something like Huda needs to learn to read the room. Or she doesn't know how to read the room. Because they're not wanting to talk to Huda. This is the group that's like Chelley, Taylor, and them. And she's like, I'm done. He's delusional. He said he doesn't care to make me like him, so get off my dick, bitch.
Get out of my vagina. Okay, Huda.
And she's like explaining what she needs, and he keeps saying like, I'm not gonna do that, which is not what happened, or at least not what we saw. Yeah. And the group just looks annoyed. Nick and Taylor look at each other and they just kind of smile, and they're done.
That was funny.
But Olandria and Austin join Jeremiah, and he says, Olandria's like, I thought you guys were having a good chat. Like, what happened? And Jeremiah's like, Huda reacts so differently than me. Like, we're just different. It's cooked. Like I care, but like, it's unfortunate. It's just not working. Yeah. And Huda says he wants to go slower, and we already went fast. And Amaya's like, well, maybe this is your opportunity to explore. And Huda's like, he doesn't get it. I'm crying myself to sleep, and you're in bed with another woman. It's Iris, bitch. You know her. Remember? He had to couple with her. You know Iris.
And they're coupled up. I don't know. Like, Huda's just really trying to make it. And they went on a date. And it was my dream date. And he's doing all these things. And it's like, it's part of the Love Island experience.
Like, I get that. Okay, you did tell him last night that he shouldn't be in the same bed as her. And he did go to sleep again. I get it. But I think he also explained to you that he's not doing that. I don't know. They just don't listen to each other, man. They just don't listen. So Nick, Pepe, and Jalen joke Hurricane Huda, and they're laughing about it. So I guess Hannah's word. Hannah said it first, so I guess it spread. And then Jeremiah is still talking to Olandria and Austin. He's like, man, she's been bringing up kids and marriage, but I'm not ready for that. And Olandria's like, yeah, you have to be ready for that. It's like, it's more than just you. You have to think about her kid. And Austin's like, kid? And they're both like, oh shit, we mentioned it.
That part was funny.
It was funny.
In their minor defense, I think the only ones that don't know about the kid are Austin and Taylor. Maybe I guess Jalen and Pepe as well. Yeah. But most of everyone knows.
Most of everybody knows. So I was like, don't show this on movie night, please.
They're like, oh fuck.
So we leave. This is another part of the day. Austin is working out, and Chelley comes over and she's like, oh my gosh, Austin, I could do a leg day workout for you. And he's like, you want to lead me through leg day? And Amaya is nearby tanning with heels on.
As she should.
Yes, queen, go off. They were cute heels. In her confessional, Chelley says that she really likes Austin, and working out together would be like a fun thing to do. So they do a couple of reps together, and he was like, man, I used to have really big titties. And she's like, oh wow. And he's like, yeah, they were really big. And like, she like grabs his pecs, and I'm like, you know, they tried. I'm like, this is not there's something is different here.
Yeah, there's not the same energy.
No. In his confessional, Austin says he thinks they're moving in the right direction. He just doesn't want to get hurt again. And I was like, By what?
Okay.
Sierra and Nick talk, and they talk about evolutions, monkeys being smart, and hippos. How hippos are the underdogs. Iris and Jeremiah talk, and he's like, hey, look, I'm really clear-headed now. I care too much about that situation. Like, I'm trusting myself to be happy. And she says she feels like she's walking on eggshells when she wants to talk to him. And Jeremiah's like, I get it. You know, she walked into a hurricane. But she says she's open-minded and, you know, she's okay with it. And he says he doesn't want to make her feel like a plan B. And I was like, so why would you say that? And she's like, no, I'm not stressed out. Like, I'm level-headed. And she says in her confessional she feels bad, but she wanted him to know that she was there to support him.
Yeah.
I was like, Iris, you're better than me, because I would have been done with all of this nonsense.
Yeah, no, Iris has a kind spirit.
She does. She's very mature too.
Very. But like, yeah, same. I don't know. I would be exhausted by all of it. And I'd be like, is there more bombshells coming?
Yeah. And I'm glad that you tell her you don't want her to feel like a plan B, but it feels like she's a plan B.
Yeah. It feels like she's a second choice.
Because you said you didn't like her.
Yeah.
He kind of said that at least. So Ace and Chelley talk, and he says, you know, welcome to my bed, because he takes her up to Soul Ties, and he starts staring at her, and she's like, stop, you're making me nervous. And they talk about tattoos, and he says he wants to put one on his stomach, and she says, you could put my face, and he's like, well, like, no, like, if I got married, then maybe I would put my wife's face on my body. And she's like, well, all you have to do is ask.
Oh.
And he was like, who do you think you are, Chelley? And they joke. And I was like, all you have to do is ask. It's crazy.
It is. Definitely.
You don't like Austin.
No, not at all. Yeah. There was another rumor that someone tried to say they've been secretly married for 2 years, and I'm like, I don't believe that. That would be hard to cover up.
That's a
I
stretch.
think.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
And he's so young. In her confessional, Chelley says she's nervous. Like, she doesn't want to put too much of herself into Ace while she gets to know Austin, but she's all over the place. And they just joke about him sleeping outside. And it's such a nice view. And she's like, man, I want to sleep out here. And he's just quiet. She's like, not with you. And they just like joke a little bit. I'm just like, you guys.
I think y'all are going to spend a night in Soul Ties together.
It's evening, and Jeremiah says he wants to walk Iris out when all of the girls come down.
Yeah.
And I was like, good luck. Huda says that he needs to step the fuck up or I'm done. And Sierra says, like, I understand, but like, just chill with the name calling.
I was crashing out.
And yeah, that's what Huda says. Nick tells Jeremiah how Huda was crashing out and calling him names. And he's like, man, she did that again?
Yep.
Yes. Olandria asks Huda, like, what else do you need? Like, if nothing he has done is good enough and you're over it, then like, what else do you need? Like, what are your...
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't even want to talk about it.
Not you lashing out on them too.
No.
But it's a valid question, bitch, because it's like, you don't want him. You say you're done. You've told him you're done several times.
Yeah.
But you're still in the dressing room talking about him. So are you done or are you not done?
She's not done.
I think, because if I was Jeremiah, I think you would be done.
Yeah.
Do you think that's clear to him?
No.
It's so confusing. Okay, so then all the girls come down, the guys go. Jeremiah kind of puts his hand behind Iris's back, and they gather to toast, and Huda just looks pissed off. Jeremiah's just standing like next to Iris at this point, and Huda like walks away crying, like sobbing again. She breaks down.
It's because he pulled, and I missed this, but someone talked about it and posted the clip. He pulled her Iris's chair out for her.
Huda!
That's why when they're talking to Hannah, she's like, he pulled his chair out for her.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because Hannah goes and he comforts her. She does exactly what Brandon just said. And Hannah's like, look, he's not the person you need. You need a man who, like, you need a man. He's a boy. Like, your dream man could walk in. Like, wipe your tears. You're going to be okay. And Huda's like, I want a man to see my worth. And Hannah's like, you will find it. And he will feel like shit. So keep your head up and you'll be with me, okay? I'll be by your side. You know, whatever you need, just let me know. Just be you. You're beautiful and gorgeous and I love you. And I was like, Hannah.
Aw, Hannah.
It was a very sweet moment.
It was.
Hannah was being very nice to her. It's like, I think the other girls are tired of following you to the bathroom and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're like, we can't do this again.
But they're like, oh, Hannah win. Okay, thank you, Hannah.
Good. Hannah's got this. She's a sweet girl.
She's a sweet girl. Austin and Amaya talk, and she says she's like, my outfit is like a leopard, a leopard, or a leopard. I don't know. She's trying to mix the word leopard and leotard.
Yes, because she's like, it's spelled leopard or something.
Yeah.
But they say leopard. And she's like, this is just the Amaya language.
Yeah.
And he's like, ah.
And she sits down and he like pulls the chair so she could be closer to him. Mm-hmm. And Austin is like, look, I'm done with the love triangle. Amaya is all about me. I'm cool with that. And then they talk and she's like, where's your family from? And he says, Michigan. She's like, oh, you're just American. And she's like, she's Dominican. And she wants her kids to know her culture, even if she was with somebody he wasn't Dominican. And he says his biggest reward in life will be to be a dad. And Amaya says he'd be a great dad. And so they get up and they walk and she's like, oh my gosh, pick me up. And he picks her up and everybody can see.
Yeah. It was a cute moment.
Mm-hmm. Hannah was like, oh look. And I think it was Nick who was like, stop, chill.
Yeah, if they last in the villa, I don't know if they'll last after she finds out he voted for Trump. But
you never know.
Yeah, I would hope, like we said before, post-season is going to be very interesting.
It's going to be very interesting to see how people respond.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ariana enters the villa.
She does.
Looking bad as ever, abs tight. I was like...
Bangs.
Man.
Hot pink bangs. Hot pink bangs. Hot pink bangs.
Everybody's like, oh no, Ariana, what are you doing here?
Hi.
And they're like, she was just here 2 nights ago. Like, what's going on? And Ariana's like, we have another recoupling. Right now, everyone is equally numbered, and we need to find out whose door is open and whose is locked. So the girls go and they each stand behind a door and they can choose who can and can't open it. Mm-hmm. So they all go back there and then she asks, who do you feel you have the best connection with? Or are you open to something new? The door can only open for one boy. And then the boys will go and to the door of the girl they want to be coupled with. And if the door opens, they both picked each other and they are coupled. If the door doesn't, they aren't matched, and any girl or boy remaining will be single and vulnerable. So Nick goes first. He stands in front of Sierra's door. It opens. They're happy. Yay. She says they have an undeniable chemistry and they're excited to see what's next. Since they coupled up, we really haven't heard much from them. So I'm like, is it as sparky and like happy as it was before?
Yeah, I don't know. They just seem very like at peace, I guess, and like fine.
They're chilling.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe something will happen with Casa Amor. Casa Amor's coming up, y'all.
I feel like Nick is gonna have a ball in Casa.
Yeah.
Pepe goes. He stands in front of Hannah's door. It opens. She says her feelings are validated. America got something right. I was like, okay, we don't feel too bad about the boat anymore. Yeah. Forget Charlie. Who was that?
Ariana's like, do you think America got it right? She's like, yes.
Yes. Austin stands in front of Amaya's door, and there was some surprise that he like stood there, but the door does open, and they're happy, and she's excited. They had a really good convo that day, and she feels like she can be herself with him. And he says he feels his energy is matched. And Chelley in her confessional says she didn't know that there was a connection there, and she wished she did.
Yes.
Maybe so she wouldn't have felt like she had to be talking to him out of obligation, maybe.
Maybe she would have been like, that would have been great to know, Amaya, because then I would have stopped.
I would have been off the clock this whole week, thinking about him, feeling crazy, feeling bad.
But sure.
Ace goes, and he says he's nervous. In his confessional before the game, he says he's nervous and excited to be with someone who wants to be with him. And he walks by Shelly's door, and he walks by Iris's door. But he ultimately goes to Shelly's door.
And Amaya looks very happy for them. People have been pointing out. She's like dancing. She's like smiling. I'm like, this is sweet. She is.
Yeah. because he says that this girl has challenged him to let down his walls and be a better person, be creative. She's gorgeous. She lights up the room. And they kiss, and they're happy. They're a couple. She feels great. And they both say Ariana says it's about time. And she says they're happy.
Right.
So I was like, and I think she asked like if he's going to be happy to sleep next to her. And I was like, we'll see. Let's see if his rule book comes back up.
We'll see what happens. You never know with Ace.
So then Jalen goes, and Olandria in her confessional says she's been trying not to compare their connections, and deciding has been hard. So Jalen goes to her door, turns the knob, and it's locked.
It's locked.
And he's like, all right. But look, Jalen is such a good sport. He just is like smiling. Yeah. He walks over. He's like, all right, I'm vulnerable. And Ariana's like, you're vulnerable now. And I'm like, Jalen, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I know. We thought something was going to happen. And then this episode really let the air out of that balloon.
It did. And I think that they both gave it maybe a valid effort. I mean, they talked to each other, but yeah, it just never seemed like she was super into it.
Yeah.
So Taylor goes, and he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We didn't talk today, but he goes to Olandria's door, and it opens. They hug, and she's like, she feels great. She's at home, and he says he's happy too. I'm like, all right. So then we have Jeremiah. Jeremiah is last, and he goes, and Ariana's like, pick your door. And Huda is crying behind her door. And he stands between her door and Iris's door, and he just scratches his head for a second. And Huda in her confession was like, let's just see if he will pick me or play it safe. So he stands in front of her door, or actually he just goes straight to Iris's door. And everybody is really surprised.
I was.
Huda looks really mad, and she shakes her head, and the door opens for Iris, and the cast is shocked. They hug, and everybody
I saw a girl brought to life. He was warm, he came around, he was dignified.
What song is that?
They were playing the Torn song. There's nothing left. I used to cry. Information has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine. I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. While Huda's on the ground crying.
Yeah, she slumps
and
down.
And they have Iris and Jeremiah hugging. I was shocked he picked Iris, to be honest.
I wasn't sure, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's just kind of tired of everything, and she kind of told him to go away. She didn't like his plan of being friends. So it's
yeah.
I don't know, girl. I don't know what you wanted him to do.
He may have reached his toxic threshold. He's like, I can only handle and be so toxic.
Yeah. Because he says he chose Iris because she's very level-headed. She was checking on him despite being in this mess. And it seems really healthy. And Huda's like, she's just mouthing to her.
Liar. She's a liar. He's a bitch. He's a fucking bitch. He's a fucking liar.
And so they ask Huda to come out, and she's like, she comes out and she looks very strong. She's not crying. Her head is held high. They ask, well, why did you leave your door unlocked for Jeremiah? And she's like, he told me that he is not attracted to Iris, that she's not his type, and that he doesn't want to sleep in a bed with her, and that he still cares about me. And this was a chance for him to prove it. Once again, he failed. And he's just smiling.
Yeah, and this is where I'm like, Huda, honestly, you suck. Because you're being rude to Iris right now.
You are.
And you're embarrassing Iris.
Yeah.
By saying, he's not attracted to her, and he hates her, he thinks she's so fucking ugly, and that he only likes me and all this. It's just you're just being an asshole.
You are. You are.
That was so rude.
It was rude to Iris. I didn't even think about that. Because I think she was just trying to embarrass Jeremiah, but in turn, she's also doing that to Iris.
It's that Huda, she can't see... the forest for the trees. What's that saying? And something like that. She just sees what's right in front of her. And it's just you need to she's not aware of her surroundings.
No, not at all. Or even her actions. You're not embarrassed? Oh my God.
No, she doesn't know that.
I don't know. I don't like to label people, but she kind of feels like a narcissist to me. No self-reflection. People talk to you. It goes over your head. They're like, you're this way. And she's like, I'm not on a bro. You...
I'm not unapproachable at all.
Your inability to look at yourself, your lack of embarrassment, your lack of your sense of entitlement. Like, I don't know, girl. I don't know.
She just got a lot.
Yeah. So Jeremiah smiles while she says this, which is really crazy also.
He's like, there's my toxic girl.
Yeah.
There she is.
I love that girl. We gonna talk later.
Maybe
It's
we'll
fine.
recouple soon. I'm gonna vote you out real quick, but just know.
I just gotta do that, for views and shit and clicks and shit. Imagine, if we recouple, we get back, we're gonna win this whole thing.
I can't be a punk and stand behind you. I gotta vote for Jalen.
She goes, he smiles and she's like, congratulations, you're a dick. And Jeremiah's like, the reason why he didn't choose Huda is because it's toxic. It's too toxic. And Huda's like, well, enjoy your safe option, your scapegoat. And maybe
You're a scapegoat.
You're a scapegoat. Austin was laughing during this, and Ariana asked why, and he said that he's glad that Jeremiah took the safe option because it's like, what the fuck? It's a circle of what the fuck.
Right.
He's like, I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Actually, I'm not.
So Huda and Jalen join Ariana, and Iris. She asks Iris why she picked Jeremiah, and Iris says it wasn't the safest option for her. And he said he just, or no, they kind of talk under their breath.
Yes.
Iris whispers to him this wasn't the safe option for me.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, I just wanted to break the toxic cycle or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I'll be there for you or something like that.
Yeah, and so then I felt bad for her even more. I'm like, I don't think
Right.
Iris even likes you. I think she's coupling with you to stay.
Yeah.
Because she really has no other options, which sucks for her too. So we then go, and Ariana has Jalen and Huda standing very far apart from each other, and she says, now one of them, the door will close on their journey, and the cast has to pick. And they're like, fuck, more choices, no. You have to stand behind who you will save.
Not this again. That one girl, what was her name? Cassidy, when no one stood behind her.
That was so sad.
That was very sad.
It's like, man, I'd be like, you know what? Actually, we don't even need to vote. I'll just leave.
Right.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll get my stuff and go. So they all pick. All of the remaining cast has to pick. So behind Sierra and Nick go first. Sierra stands behind Huda. Nick stands behind Jalen. Then Amaya and Ace go. Amaya and Austin go, sorry. Amaya stands behind Huda. Austin stands behind Jalen. Then Ace and Chelley go, and they both stand behind Huda.
That was surprising.
I was very surprised. I was like, Ace, what the fuck? You're literally public enemy number one. Why are you doing that?
Huda trying to reach her hand. He's like, hell nah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
She reaches out, and he's just like,
Nah.
I was like, are you going to cry about that as well?
Probably not.
Being embarrassed.
She only gets offended when the women say things to her. But anyways.
Then Pepe and Iris and Jeremiah pick. Iris picks Huda for some reason. Jeremiah.
That was a little shocking.
Me too, because I was like, so maybe this is just showing us she's not very high on Jeremiah, or maybe she's just trying to stick up for the girls.
Maybe, and she's just kind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jeremiah stands behind Jalen, and then Iris and Taylor and Olandria go. They both stand behind Huda. Hannah and Pepe go. Pepe stands behind Jalen, and Hannah stands behind Huda. So Huda is safe, and Jalen has been dumped.
So sad.
It was sad. I was like, are we going to get rid of Huda? And
I thought for a minute, but
I was like, maybe production can't let it happen.
maybe. I mean, look, I figured the girls weren't going to vote against Huda. So there was that. It was really Ace that surprised me. But I guess because they don't want to keep Jalen because that's competition for Taylor. So there's that. So that would make sense why Taylor wouldn't. And then Iris, I thought maybe would vote against Huda, but I could also see her being like, I've already been put in the middle of this. I'm not going to be the reason either of you go home too.
Yeah.
So I'll stick beside you. It's fine.
Yeah, because even Jeremiah was surprised by that because he was like, oh, awkward.
Right.
He said it again. And I was like, Jeremiah, we get it. We can see what's awkward. Fuck. Gosh, you got to point it out every single time. So Huda is very happy that she's safe. She has a very smug look. She's like, I'm good. And so Jalen, is gone, and he's like, look, I'm really thankful for this experience. This was really cool. Like, it was great making these friends, building these connections, this experience was great. He's just like a really all-around upstanding guy.
Yeah, he got his passport for this.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I really feel like Jalen could have stayed. Olandria says bye to him. He was a gentle giant. She feels bad. Iris cries. She says that she feels bad for Jalen. And the situation all around is really fucked. I think she was talking to Hannah, and then Huda comes over and thanks her. And I was like, I think Iris is crying because this was just a shitty situation all around.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming, like having to deal with Huda and the Jeremiah of it all. And then like her and Jalen came in together. It was just a lot.
Yeah, I think it was a mixture of things. And then Huda, I think in a confessional, says she feels bad for misreading Iris. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you jump to conclusions about people so quick.
You do remember about Amaya?
Oh, yeah, you called her a bitch. Now she's your best friend. And then Jalen tells Taylor, hey man, the best man won, and Taylor's like, nah man, like you're really cool, like it was nice getting to know you. So they all kind of say bye to Jalen, and Austin just says it was sad to see how things play out, but Jalen ultimately says he's thankful and happy Olandria found her person. And he leaves. It was
he's
really
so sweet.
He's the sweetest. I was like, I hope you find your person, Jalen, because you're an upstanding guy.
Right, we had hopes there would be more and you would be with Olandria, but for some reason she's into Taylor.
Yeah.
And Taylor's still trying to say he's into her.
Right. So
I don't know.
We'll see. Let's see until Casa Amor. I feel like Taylor and Casa Amor could really switch up on us.
Maybe. I'll say a hot take. Maybe Olandria.
Ooh, switch up on us?
Maybe she'll take a risk. I'll be okay with it.
Or Taylor can confess that he has a girlfriend back home.
Or that.
And that's basically the episode. A sneak peek for tonight's episode is that there's trouble in paradise, and it seems like the cast is just fed up with Huda.
Yeah, the girls are like, we can't save her again. I'm like, well, y'all already did twice.
Yeah, I was like, don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Don't do it a third time. My God.
Please listen. These episodes were low-key exhausting to watch.
They were fun. They were great.
Fun. Super fun.
But it was just like so much. And it was just like a lot of the same. And Huda's just exhausting.
Huda is, man. I was like, y'all gotta, somebody go talk to her. Yeah, I agree with what you said earlier. It's clear that there's like, as entertaining as it is, I mean, not even really entertaining, but like we're watching obviously, but I do think that she's got some things that she needs to work on. And I hope her family can wrap around her when she goes home to help her kind of see.
Right.
They're definitely gonna have a reunion for this one.
Oh yes, for sure.
But season 7
still hitting the paint hard.
Not disappointing at all.
Not at all. And yeah, I think Casa Amor is soon.
It is soon, and I think we're about halfway now. We're at episode 14.
Yeah, so close to halfway. Because I know there's like 30 something. But excited to see. I think Nick and Sierra, I was thinking about it, they might be endgame.
Oh yeah, so we have our new couples. So we have Nick and Sierra. I don't know. I could see Nick having fun in Casa, but maybe going back to Sierra.
Yeah. Austin and Amaya could be endgame. I don't know. We need to see more of them.
Yeah, no, they actually seem perfect for each other. Unless, I feel like unless somebody came in and was really high on Austin.
Yeah.
But
Chelley and Ace, I mean, we'll see now that they're officially a couple. Maybe we'll be able to see for sure.
I'm very curious how Ace is going to act. But it seems like his guard is down. I really feel like those rules were just for Amaya.
I do too.
He was like, hey, since I don't really know you, like, don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't
call me babe. What do you call boyfriends? Oh yeah, don't call me that.
What makes you happy? Don't do any of those things.
You better stop. Taylor and Olandria, maybe we'll see. Or maybe, like we said, one of them will turn up in Casa Amor. Maybe both of them will.
Yeah. And then Pepe and Hannah.
I think she's going to have fun in Casa. I think he will too.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I hope that Jeremiah puts some effort into getting to know Iris.
Yeah, because right now I don't see too much, but I'm like, maybe if they both try.
If Huda relaxes a little bit, I think they could actually explore things. But let's see if she'll let them. Because it's kind of hard to just like, you know, I don't know if he's gonna even try to talk to Huda after this. Does he overhear a conversation this night? Probably, right?
I mean, technically no. Of all the nights, this might be the one night where maybe you don't.
Yeah.
But this probably then will be when he does.
Yeah.
So we'll see the new episodes tonight. So that's exciting. But I think that's it.
I think that's it, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. This was a truckload to go through, but it's so good.
It is. It's fun to dissect and everything. And there's just so many moving pieces. And like, so things change so quickly.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about like, oh, it was sad when Bella left. But then like the next day it was like, well, we've moved on.
We've moved on so much. Jalen came and left.
Yes. Who's
Charlie's
Bella?
gone. Like, it's different.
Yeah. Charlie, Hannah's moved on. We've all moved on.
So are they 6 and 6? Is it 6 couples?
It is
Sierra?
6 and then Huda.
Oh, and Huda's by herself. Okay.
Yes. Huda's
So
by herself. I think there's going to be bombshells tonight.
Yeah, maybe between now and Saturday, there might be a bombshell. And then I think they'll send 3 people home. Because Costa's always 5 and 5. Unless they do 6 and 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see, but excited to see nonetheless.
Yes.
But with that being said, thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Do it.
If you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, we love to shout those out. That's super fun.
Yes.
And then on Spotify, you can leave comments, which is fun as well, and rate us 5 stars. If you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Shade of It All Podcast. We post fun clips at the Shade of It All Podcast on TikTok. We have an Instagram at the Shade of It All Pod. And then we have our Patreon at the Shade of It All. We do weekly live watch parties every Friday. And we're going to do it again, of course.
This Friday.
Like, sign up so you can watch with us and like talk in the chat and everything. And it's super fun. But yeah. Thank y'all so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.